Oh God, my head.
Pangy.
Oh no.
Pangy.
Who's...
Steve.
Yeah? What?
Get up, Steve.
Ace, is that you?
Ah, there you are.
Why are you wearing a jigsaw mask?
You don't understand how hard it was for me to track you down in that car.
Yeah, well, I kind of did myself in by posting that
Terrible,
tweet, so...
terrible.
Yeah, just terrible on me.
Frankly, I almost ran over a child when I was trying to get you.
You almost killed a child, Ace, trying to get me.
Do you know how bad that would have been for Jay to clean up? That'd been terrible.
Oh yeah, well, he probably would have just taken the blood anyways, because he's Jewish, so...
Alright, Steve.
Yeah.
Steve, the water.
What do you mean? What water?
Drink some water, Steve. Drink some water. You look parched.
What
Go
did
ahead.
you...
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, go and take it.
This water bottle's been cracked. What did you put in this? Did you put drugs in here? Are you trying to roofie me?
Steve.
What?
If you don't drink the fucking water, I will
what are you gonna
release
do?
gas and kill you.
Okay, fine. I'll just drink the water, and everything will be all right. There's no need to put any gas in here.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, that's pretty good.
6, 7. Oh shit, that didn't kill you.
No, it's just
Steve,
water. Thank you.
Monitors. Look at the monitors.
Okay. You've
Look
got
at the
a
monitors.
whole wall
There.
of monitors here. What is this? These are all filled with tweets from like people with 10 followers. And why are they all replying to you and misunderstanding your analogies?
Okay, Steve, you see those monitors?
I do, yes. I see. I'm
This is
reading them right
very
now.
important.
Okay.
This is the most important thing of your entire life.
What do you mean? Let
Nothing
me
else
out
in
of
your
here.
life matters anymore.
This is ridiculous.
This is your
Let me
life.
out.
This is your reality now.
What do you mean, my reality?
When you see a person respond to me,
Okay.
you must hit the switch to notify that someone has responded to my
Oh,
tweet.
God.
Do you
No.
understand?
No, I'm not doing this. You let me out of here right
You
now.
need to do.
Jay, I am disabled. I am a woman.
You can reduce a problem by one if you just simply kill yourself on the spot.
You know, because maybe there's a part of you that thinks, well, you know, maybe I'm just a libertarian shitposter or something.
This is one of the warmest cardigans in existence. I swear to God. The dude has great taste.
I'm coming at you live from a Popeyes right now.
Oh, great. Yeah. Just eat into the microphone. Just do that.
We're recording. I ate Popeyes tonight too. So I jump on the fucking lobby and I see Jay's eating a chicken. I think it was a chicken leg.
It was a
and I was
chicken
like,
leg.
You got Popeyes too?
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah,
You're
I also got one of my favorite. Yeah, you are a little bit low, Jay. One of my favorite patches that I purchased came in.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Kalashnikova Classic, man.
Oh, my God.
Would have
Dino,
been funny
what's
if I was wearing my Coke shirt too.
What's is there a specific fast food establishment that you stop at every time you go on a road trip? Like, is there one place you're like, I'm going
Brahms.
on a road trip, I need... Okay.
Brahms.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
Brahms. That's because you guys are outside of their service area. See, they only open up Brahms locations within a certain distance of their dairies. Okay? Because they get supplied by these dairy farmers. They only open up locations within a certain distance of the dairy farms because they're an ice cream shop, kind of first and foremost. But they have like actually a pretty good fast food hamburger there and stuff. Like I love Brahms. And if I'm driving through an area in the Midwest with a Brahms or the Southwest with a Brahms, I'm stopping at Brahms, man.
I'm going to actually plug something from my hometown. If you guys are ever in like the Midwest, like Illinois, on the far west side of Illinois, near Quincy,
Never gonna be
Illinois,
there.
Stop. Okay, that's good. No, don't go there, Jay. Just stay out. Go to Made Right in Quincy. It is
okay.
It's a ground beef, and it is the greasiest sandwich you will ever eat in your entire life. The greasiest.
Is Quincy anywhere near any baseball stadium? Probably not.
I don't know how many miles.
Oh, it's like it's
You know-
it's not that far north of St. Louis.
Yeah, it's just a little bit. Yeah, it's not too far from St. Louis.
I always wanted to do
6
a road
long
trip
months.
and visit different
Yeah, go for it.
baseball stadiums. No, I was just saying I want to visit every baseball stadium, and
Oh, okay.
it's Quincy is in between. Looks like
Yeah.
it's somewhere in between
It's on the
Milwaukee
Mississippi
and
River.
St. Louis. Yeah. Oh, that's incredible. You know, it's fucking. Oh wait, okay. You grew up on the Mississippi River.
Yes,
I
right
didn't. I didn't grow up on the Mississippi River, but not far from it. And then the guys I was speaking to on a show the other day, just past Monday, I recorded with on Hoppa Hours. Some of those guys are from a place in fucking Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh,
That's right by
okay.
the
Well,
goddamn
there you go.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't realize the
Okay.
Mississippi was like that.
Yeah.
There's
mean,
something
like,
in the
largest
water of
river
the
in
Mississippi
America?
that turns you into a. Yeah.
No wonder
I guess
we're all
there's that.
retarded.
Yeah, I'm saying there's something in the water of the Mississippi that turns you into a shit posting libertarian.
It's the dirty carp. It's just the poisonous carp.
Yeah, dude, it was raining today and it got cold, but it got cold to the point that here's the thing. Cold in Houston is not cold,
Right.
air quotes cold. But it got cold enough in the apartment that I couldn't justify turning on the heat.
Oh,
But
in that
or
mid-range
rather,
where
it
it's
got
like-
cold enough that I was cold, but
Yeah.
not so cold that I could justify turning on the heat.
Right.
It was hovering at like that 65 mark where it's like,
Yeah.
fuck, if I turn on the heat, I'm gonna have god damn it. Not worth
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's why I have this fucking blanket right here. In case that happens. I don't like running the heat. I just don't. It makes the air dry and
I love Miami. Even when it gets cold, we don't run the heat because this is such a strange experience that for like 5 minutes of your life, you just want to feel it. Before you go back to being in a sweaty ball sack.
I like the cold, but right now where I'm at, it's about 40 degrees, which is not cold for a lot of people, but it's cold for down here.
This thing's actually a little warm. Jesus Christ.
40
I'm not
degrees
even
is like
kidding. These
a
things are
Miami.
so good.
I went to the gas station earlier today, I don't know, 6 o'clock or so, maybe 5:30, and
And
it
the
was about
crackheads were falling out of the
45
trees
degrees.
dying.
No, there were people in full winter gear, like heavy parkas with beanies on, with the hoods up, with gloves and shit. I'm like, what?
In Louisiana?
Yeah, because it's 45 degrees, so that's freezing cold weather. And I'm in a t-shirt and shorts. I like the cold. It's refreshing and it wakes me up.
Yeah.
I like the cold.
I like cold. I don't like real cold. I like it
I
when
enjoyed-
I like it.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I can deal down to about 45 or so for a little bit, walking to the car, walking back or whatever, but any
No, I
colder
like
than
to-
that, I gotta throw a jacket on.
I like the real cold. Whenever we went to Utah just a couple of months ago, it was snowing and it was 15, 20 degrees. I really enjoyed that. The only problem about the snow is that it gets you wet. So I didn't have the right. All I have is my fucking tennis shoes.
Yeah.
I don't have any boots or nothing like
You gotta
that.
get
so-
some boots. Yeah.
Yeah.
The worst thing, part of it though is I got my fill of the cold when I was hucking steel on 20-degree days with wind chill.
Yeah, I understand.
Like that was one of the things where it's like I'm sitting here in a container and I'm sorting railroad plates and it's fucking 20 degrees and the wind is blowing. I have no idea how cold it feels, but I know it's realistically it's
Yeah.
20 degrees.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here like just trying to move steel from one place to another and it's like this is terrible. I hate this.
Yeah. Yeah. Down there where you guys are, if you guys get a little bit of snow, does everyone just panic like they don't know how to drive? Like just a little bit? Like,
Dude, the
'cause I
city
know some
shuts
places
down.
are like that. Yeah.
It does.
That's what happens when it rains in Miami.
Really?
It can.
Yes.
Like we had a big snowfall, grading on a curve,
Relative.
comparatively.
Yeah.
It was
He's
a big
comparing it to his
snowfall
dick size.
for-
It was 2 and 2. So
Yeah, it was
Right, okay.
three of my penises to snowfall. No, seriously though, it was probably 2 or 3 inches that wound up accumulating on the ground, which is a lot for us. I was able to drive fine in it. And once you realize you just have to relax, don't slam on the brakes, ease off the gas
Just
pedal,
chill.
like that kind of real simple
Just
stuff.
chill.
Don't panic and overcorrect. Then it was fine. And most of the people that were driving on the road, they were just driving way slower than they
Yeah,
probably could have been, but it's better than them fucking up and going into a
for
skid
sure.
and then flipping over because they turned the wrong way in the skid. But then,
I did
like,
have a thing. I spun a truck around on a bridge one time, and it terrified the shit out of me because it actually wasn't frozen except on the bridge, and I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it was that cold.
Black ice.
So I spun around. I could have gone off the bridge. I didn't. I spun around to where I was looking the other way in the other lane, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Does it all feel like slow motion? Like, whoa!
I was like, "Holy fuck! I'm done. Like my truck's
die.
done. I'm done."
Yeah.
Like this
I
is
saw
it.
that happen one time, but except it wasn't from snow or ice. It was because rain had just started. You know, whenever the rain just
And
starts,
all the oil,
the oil slick is the worst at the beginning of the rain, and it was a light rain. This guy in a big old probably didn't have the traction control right because he had this big old fucking lift on it. And being a mechanic, like I know how they do. They don't. A lot of people that do these lifts, they don't do it right. So his traction control system was probably fucked from this lift. He just turned into an intersection and his wheels started spinning, and then he just did a full, basically a donut in the middle of the intersection, but just kept on going. Like he made it. He was fine.
Yeah, it's like, what are you going to do at that point? Just keep going.
Well, I've driven, he made it. Like,
yeah,
I've driven through the outer.
That could have easily flipped.
Yeah, I've driven through the outer bands of a hurricane before. That's fun.
Oh yeah.
I like dead at night too. I was like driving through South Carolina like 3 in the morning.
Yeah,
and just wave after wave of like the bands from the hurricane. Fucking terrible.
Being in a thunderstorm in the middle of the night is an experience. Like driving through it. That's yeah.
I've done it so much too, man.
I find it. Oh,
I love the subtropics. No, I just love the subtropics. Continue.
I find it worse. I find the thunderstorm worse, not in the dark of night, but in like the evening when the sun is setting, because that's when the angle of the light is worse from the mist coming off of the road. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, sure.
Like, I'd rather it be dark and the sun be completely down than it be that weird, like, amber colored sky.
I think it depends on how hard it's raining too, though.
That's true too.
In the dark of night, if it's pouring down rain, it's just not a good time.
Yeah.
Is this what Slurp Gang is today? Is talking about the fucking weather?
It's the most normal episode we've ever had.
The Patreon members are going to have Jay.
We're gonna do
Jay eat chicken.
It's been 10 minutes. We're talking about the weather.
Weather talk and Skittle tasting.
I don't know what
we're not getting to the Skittles.
Okay,
yet.
Jay demanded. Okay, we can get to it later. But let's tease it.
I demanded that every host have Skittles, and Ace did not comply.
I forgot.
Dean went under the freezing cold rain to get Skittles. Where's your devotion?
I even have a blindfold right here. My wife.
I didn't want to go.
Is that what we're doing? Are you here to? Because I thought this. I do not know what the bit is, but I have a suspicion.
We're shoving it in our penises.
Oh, okay, good. That's what I thought. No,
six of them.
I told.
That's a callback.
I told my girlfriend. I said, "Okay, so Jay intends to make a fool of me because I said on an earlier episode of Slurp Gang.
Yes,
I said that certain Skittles don't taste good. Okay?
Oh
no.
That's not why.
You survived this round.
No.
Okay.
No. So I had friend of mine had put up a poll on Twitter. Last individual on Twitter. We spoke about him on the last episode or the previous. He put a poll up asking if Skittles taste different, like individual Skittles, like the red tastes different from the green, tastes different from the yellow.
This is a big conspiracy as far as candy goes, because there's a lot.
I know.
Of people,
because I believe, because I heard, and this could be like a Mandela effect thing, because I heard that Skittles actually are all the same flavor.
No, that's what I'm saying is wrong. I'm saying that's also wrong about Starburst too.
Yeah.
That's definitely wrong about Starburst.
I promise.
They're all reds. There's definitely a difference.
So the point we're gonna today, the point of getting Skittles, because me and Jay are like, no, Skittles absolutely taste different. People are saying it's an effect that you see the color. No, yesterday I was asking Joni, interrupting her fucking watching her show. Okay, what color is this one? Okay, you got it now. Eat it.
Actually,
that was a purple.
How about we do it like this? Since I don't have them, if you guys want to be blindfolded when you do it, I can tell you which color.
Of course. We don't all have to go out.
Keep track of it. Keep track.
Well, yeah.
So I can.
We
look
don't all
at,
have.
like, you hold-
I'm not
you
gonna lie
blindfold-
though.
Oh, you're good.
I can't pick it out. I can't pick out each individual
Okay,
color
that's fine.
every
We just
single
know-
time.
Yeah.
And I'm just
That's
saying, like, people are gonna take my wrong answers as proof that they do actually.
Well, no.
taste
You don't have to pick out the color, I don't think. Just describe the flavor a little bit. Like just kind of describe it, and if you have different words for it that kind of makes sense, then we'll know.
I can tell which, like, the thing about it too is whenever I was doing this, first of all, the more candy you eat, the more it gets on your tongue. So you the flavors kind of start to blend together at that. But what I'm going to try to do is take a swish of water and kind of rinse it off and stuff. But the other thing about it is
I've got a beverage for that as well.
Just eating fucking sugar, and it's not. It just kind of starts to wear on your tongue a little bit, right? Like I've already got a swollen taste bud on the side of my tongue.
We can do like 5 of them. We can do like 5 of them.
But I was reliably getting most of the colors correct, except for red. Red is the most vague of the flavors that I was confusing for all. I had
heard that they're all the same, but that it's a color thing.
No, I definitely don't think so.
So I have a notepad and pen out, and I will document which ones you guys pick, and then which ones you guys say you thought.
Okay. Do you want to do this? But do you want to do this later on a little bit in the show? Because this is going to be very interesting, and it might be the most interesting part of the show, and I don't want to burn it.
And I just ate a lot. I just ate a lot of chicken. My stomach needs a minute.
Yeah, we can do it later. I'm just saying I'm prepared.
Hey, listen, I'm only done eating chicken.
Because I'm totally here for this.
But I absolutely, and I know people aren't going to take my word for it, but I was actually getting most of the colors right most of the time. Like, particularly the most distinct flavor, in my opinion, was grape, which would be the purple one. Orange and yellow I was confusing, and then red I was confusing for every other. I don't know what it is about the red one. And the problem is they're not all equally strongly flavored. So sometimes you get a grape one, it's like, oh yeah, that's undoubtedly grape. Sometimes you get a grape one that's like,
undoubtedly grape.
It's not very strong.
Undoubtedly, it's not very strong. That ain't no grape I ever tasted.
You're clipping so bad right now, dog.
Overmodulate harder. It might be time for you to run compression, my dude.
Turn the gain down is all you got to do right there.
Wait, aren't you on banana?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got my
later.
white supremacy in a can.
There you go.
Why is my thing so? Do I sound better now?
You sound fine.
Yeah, you sound better now.
Yeah, you sound fine.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why my game was really high up on banana.
What the fuck is banana?
That makes sense. Voice meter banana. It's a program for audio.
Why do you use that? Why?
It's good.
Why do I use that?
It's really good. If you need to route audio, if you're running a soundboard, you pretty much need it.
Oh, that's right. You need that virtual cable shit. Yeah.
Yep.
I have it on my computer. Well, I probably got rid of it.
So I had a thing that I wanted to bring up with you guys just to kind of get things rolling a little bit.
Yeah.
So Chuck Schumer, related, of course, to Amy Schumer. So it's a wonder he's not a fucking hog. Because I heard that shit's genetic.
She is a woman, though.
That's true.
But, are we sure about
Chuck Schumer? Well, actually, you know what? Good question. But Chuck Schumer was out in. He was talking today, and he said, and I quote: "Since before 1981, the Supreme Court was all white men, and the Biden administration is going to continue to reverse that." That's what he said. Okay. Now, 1981. All right. There was a justice on the Supreme Court from, I believe, 1961. No. It was 1967 to 1991. His name was Thurgood fucking Marshall, and he was the first African American on the Supreme Court.
But you see, Dean, when it comes to blacks and Jews, what we've learned this week is that one black has the power to change the entire definition of racism So how can we not assume that one black has the power to change his race?
I just think
That's a
that
good question.
Thurgood Marshall doesn't get the credit he deserves for writing Bad to the Bone.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Jay literally facepalmed.
There was somebody who commented on this thing. Bad Legal Takes posted this video. There was somebody who commented under it forgetting Thurgood Marshall, and that just fucking killed me.
Oh god, that's great. That's a
It's
great
just
comment.
absolutely fucking dead. But that's Mr. Schumer. Now, I would ask Mr. Schumer. I would ask him this. I would say, look, Mr. Schumer, I don't think you're racist for forgetting Thurgood Marshall. I don't think you're racist for that. I think you're just an idiot.
He's also
But I ask
old.
you this.
How old is he?
He's fucking ancient. He's a fucking crypt keeper. He's the quintessential old white man who's been in the halls of power for fucking
71's
ever.
not.
Wait, so the Jews are white
71's
this week. Just want to confirm.
Looks
I keep
white
having
me.
I keep having to change if they are white or not every week.
I know. I can't
Every morning
decide.
you wake up and you flip your favorite penny and you figure out which it is today.
Did you see? Did you see? Did you see that the ADL changed the definition of racism again?
They
after
changed
the
it
Whoopi
back though,
thing?
didn't they?
In a span
they
of 2
changed it.
days. In the span,
they really?
No, they made a difference. So it's somewhere in between the two. But now it's not
Okay, yeah.
benefiting white people.
Okay, I thought
they decided to go a third way.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
ADL third positionism. Nice.
So that's what they. So because of the Whoopi Goldberg thing, I think the ADL realized that there was a glaring issue with their definition of racism that they had originally changed it to in order to prop up social justice bullshit that they're interested in nowadays. They changed it to that, and then the Whoopi Goldberg thing happened. If anyone doesn't know, Whoopi Goldberg said, "I think the retards are faking it." But that's actually something she said a while back.
That is true. Dude, Neo Conor Mover tweeted it. You also go check that out. It's funny as fuck.
But she said that she doesn't think the Holocaust was racially motivated. And so the ADL
fighting, yeah,
two white groups fight. Can you imagine?
And then she also
Can you
said that about
fucking
gypsies.
imagine?
She said that about gypsies too.
But
that
you
was
know
in
what?
response to
Yep.
someone talking about
You know,
the
she
Jews
was so
and the gypsies.
she was so close, man. She was so close because the reality is, it wasn't two white groups fighting in the Holocaust. It was two white groups fighting in World War II. No more brother wars. Okay, rise up against these fucking rodents, these subhumans who are changing definitions on you. No more brother wars. And no more wars between the whites and the blacks. Let's all unite against the common enemy,
comparing
the gypsies.
I thought you were comparing the ADL to rodents for a moment.
Dude, I don't know. I don't want to have to
There's
fight.
No, I would
long,
never do that.
long and involved history.
Oh, I would
I
never
don't
do
have
that.
to fight Tyson Fury, man. That dude's a big guy. He's a gypsy king.
These guys, it
He
blew
is.
me
That's his
away when I
nickname in
saw.
boxing.
No,
He's
I
a
know.
boxer, right? Okay.
It blew me away when they changed that definition again. It was like, could you be any more blatant? Like, could you be any more just obvious with your
What
bullshit?
are you talking about?
I don't know. The definition's the same as it was last week. I don't know what you're talking about. Never a
I
straight
will tell you
answer.
this: almost every Jew I've ever spoken to, and I say that because I haven't asked every Jew I've ever spoken to about this, but almost every Jew I've ever spoken to has basically taken the position of fuck the ADL.
Yes. Yeah.
Like
nobody
I
fucking
don't
likes
know if I've ever met anybody who openly is like, yeah, the ADL rocks, man. Like, I don't think I've ever met anyone like that.
I just thought of because of I don't know what you're talking about it was the same last week. You know that comic that's like, it's the guy asking his Jewish dad, can I borrow $40? And he's like, $30? What do you need $20 for? And then jumps out the window. My own son is trying to kill me over $10. that's literally what I'm...
But I really want to meet the person who's waking up every day. Is like, all right, let's check the ADL website for the new definitions. Let's fucking go.
So I can know what slurs to call people.
They're
Yeah,
like,
the only people
racist
giving
update dropped.
yeah, the only people giving the ADL traffic is Pole.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's fucking right wingers on fucking Twitter. It's a quarantine coof is the biggest traffic to the ADL website. Oh, speaking of, I was speaking to Jay earlier, and
I'm sorry.
Jay let me let me in on something that kind of blew my mind. Jay, you didn't know about Ethan Ralph until
No.
last week?
Last week, I've never heard of this man before, and it has been a fucking rabbit hole,
Really?
dude. What the fuck? Like,
I didn't know about him until the Dave Smith Nick Fuentes debate, and I haven't learned about him
He
since
hosted
then
that?
either. I think
Oh
that
my
was
God.
him. Is
That's
that
what-
what
that's
that
where I-
is? That
Might
what,
have been
where I
on the.
fucking heard
It could have been
Kill
on the kill stream.
is he like
That's
a
where I
heavier
fucking-
blonde guy
Yeah,
with a beard?
It was on the kill stream.
heavier. Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
heavier is an understatement. This
I'm
man
sorry,
is
we're-
Fucking fat ass.
We're trying to be more sensitive. You know, we were talking about the weather earlier. We were talking about Skittles and
Yeah.
trying to be like appeal to the whenever. I also
Yeah,
said
no, I
that Amy
finished
Schumer
eating.
was
Let's go-
fatter
let's go
than
both.
Chuck Schumer
We
because she's a woman.
We opened up this episode talking
Most
about the
normal.
fucking weather, and the episode before that, we opened with Nick saying the F slur with his whole chest. I'm like,
Same shit, basically.
This week's the hangover episode. You know, we're recovering.
We started
from,
this out jumping out of the closet.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
go.
start-
But that
Every time
So
an
you-
episode starts with me eating, it's very low energy at the start, and then it gets into it.
Yeah,
There
once
you
I saw
go.
you were eating, I'm like, oh shit, here we go.
Oh fuck!
That's why I was 10 minutes
Um,
late
I-
today. But
I told my dad. I was talking to my dad on the phone earlier about the way that the student loan system is an actual scam because the lender has no risk. I was talking to Dad about that, and I told him he was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna let you go," and I was like, "Yeah, well, now I'm all fucking jacked up. I'm gonna be shot out of a cannon on the show."
apparently not.
Apparently
Apparently
not. Apparently,
not.
we're just gonna talk about the fucking weather. No, so you
been
hadn't
really
heard
hot here
Ethan
lately.
Ralph.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but dude,
You hadn't heard of this individual. You didn't know anything about him.
No.
You didn't know that he had a sex tape.
No,
Oh,
so it wasn't
God.
until I was listening to the Dick show, and Dick was talking about how he broke his foot right before he was supposed to go to Portugal with Ethan Ralph, and then a day later, Ralph shows up on the fucking timeline, beat up by 4 random dudes from Portugal, and the first thing I hear on Dick show is that, oh, apparently everybody hates Ralph. I didn't know that. I'm like, who the fuck is Ralph? Everybody hates him. And then I see the next day, this motherfucker goes to another country and is so intolerable, he gets jumped by 4 dudes.
Yes. He
And then-
claims to have been mugged, and I don't believe it for a second.
And then when I told
This
Dean about
dude,
that, I'm
because
like,
this dude is so look. I know. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, look. I know from white trash. Okay, Ethan Ralph is a perennial example of white fucking trash, man. Like, this is a dude who showed up. This is a dude, and I talked about this a little bit in one of our chats over the Discord. This is a dude who showed up to Digi's house. Digi, who used to be Digibro, then was Digine, and now is just Digi. Showed up to Digi's house and fought Riley, the Dick Show producer, over a mediocre piece of tail, who was Digi's sloppy seconds.
and he got his shit
Okay.
rocked.
And it wasn't great. It was the worst thing. But the picture of him is his basketball shorts are down around his fucking gun below his hips, and his gunt is hanging out of his fucking shirt. It is the floppiest. He is the saggiest man on the planet. Okay, this dude takes trouble
All right, I'll add it to
wherever
the
the
notes.
fuck he
Saggiest
goes.
man on the planet.
This dude is absolutely white trash.
It's so fucking funny. And I didn't know who he was. So today Dean sends me a fucking wiki about him, or like a forum post that compiles
It
everything.
wasn't a
about him.
wiki. I sent you, and some people listening will know exactly what this means, and some people are gonna be like, "Huh?" I sent you his Kiwi Farms thread.
Let me read the title from that. Ethan Oliver Ralph, The Ralph Retort, Rad Roberts, J. Caesar 187, Killstream, Tequila Sunrise, Chronic Fat Alcoholic, Abuser, Deadbeat Father, Male Genitals Enthusiast, Owner of a Gun, Fat, 5'1", Revenge Pornographer. Because,
5'1".
I know how to
The
start.
American
I know how to start.
dream.
Someone posted on Twitter that they donated $1 to his baby mama, I was like, I've
So
paid
that's
more in child
a
support
little
than
bit of
either Ralph
background.
ever has.
A little bit of background. That's Gator. Gator used to work with Ethan. Okay. And they split up, and Ethan sent him $1 as severance. And so Gator turns around and sends that to Ethan's baby mama and says, I've now given more to Ethan's children than Ethan has.
Oof.
Oh,
Rising to prominence during Gamergate, he returned from prison after punching a cop to host the Kill Stream, a relatively successful show that bankrolled him for months. He was eventually kicked off after a charity stream featuring Holocaust deniers that raised $25,000 for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. The money was refunded.
That was a big deal when it happened.
What a statement is that? Like, that sentence right there is incredible.
Yeah. That was a big deal when it happened. That's when Ethan Ralph got kicked off of YouTube, and he had raised all this money for St. Jude's, and it was like, you don't want the sick kids to get money? Like,
yeah, I remember that.
Fine, I'll keep it.
Yeah, basically. I mean, well, he didn't get it. He got kicked off during the stream. I seriously doubt he got a payout from it.
Oh, okay.
I imagine everybody got a chargeback on. But that's the thing. So are you sitting there scrolling through his Kiwi Farms thread?
This is another
Through the
live
LP?
stream thing where he's apparently drunk right off his ass, ranting about Hot Wheels from 8chan.
This is a dude who got in a fight with Nick Rekieta. Okay?
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, this is a dude, like he hates Nick now for some reason, because Nick had basically said that he thought that Ethan was handling a legal thing wrong. I think that's pretty much it. Oh no, it was worse. It was dumber than that. It's because Nick thought that Ralph farted on stream. I'm not kidding. I'm not fucking kidding. Okay, so this happened. He did a 24-hour stream, and he does this thing. Fuck. Jay, you might have to try and find the clip. I might have to pull you away from the thread.
Penis! No!
I might have to pull you away from the thread. Is it from the sex tape? I might have to pull you away from the thread to have you look up Ethan Ralph farts on YouTube. But he was on this 24-hour stream, and he does this thing where he like shifts in his chair, and you just hear, and he's like, ugh. Like that's a series of events. And so there are people who are like, he farted on stream, and other people are like, no, he didn't, no way. And I think Nick Rekieta was one of the guys who was like, dude, just say you farted. It's not a big deal. And Ethan Ralph got really fucking mad about it. If I remember properly, that's what it was.
Wow.
Can you guys hear my can you hear my audio interface?
Oh, we cannot. But that was the thing, is he was sitting there on stream, and it just sounds. What, Jay? Your face is doing a thing.
I'm scrolling through it. So this is Rakita.
We can't hear it.
Can't hear nothing, brother.
Yeah, we can't hear anything.
Okay,
Is that Rekieta? Did you pull up Rekieta's video about it?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it part of like one of his 5-hour streams, or is it clipped out? Because you're gonna have a hard time finding it.
It's flipped out.
Okay, good.
Okay, let's.
But yeah, that was Ethan Ralph is such an absolute, like, the dude is just not. I understand why people like him. No, I understand why people like. It's either quiet. It's either quiet or it's not coming through at all. He is such a. I understand how people like him. I just can't fucking stand him. Because it's just white trash shit everywhere he fucking goes. And I hate that shit. I really, it bothers me.
All right,
So-
can you hear it now?
No. Very sad, Jay.
Speak about another fat online internet personality. Did you guys see? I know Ace, you did. I know Jay, you did. Dino, did you see that shit that Vaush said?
Oh my god.
I didn't see. The only Vouch thing I've seen recently is him. Is the Jinx video about him loving horsecock?
No, not that.
No.
All right. So regarding
Okay.
this, regarding the Russia, Ukraine, NATO, UN. I don't know exactly.
At Crack Connoisseur, by the way, on Twitter.
Yes.
One of the best video editors on the planet.
Regarding the whole Ukraine-Russia deal, Vaush there was a clip from one of his streams where, and Ace, you're probably going to know this better than I do, but he said something like, yeah, if we just, we don't need to send troops, we don't need to attack, but what we need to do is get with all the countries that are around Russia and just implement sanctions. And that way,
them.
Yeah, and make sure that then they'll be nicer and more compliant. And I'm like, first of all,
he went farther than that.
Yeah, hang on.
All of the
Ace,
countries
go ahead.
that are entirely dependent upon Russian fucking gas, Russian natural fucking gas feeds that entire region of the goddamn globe. You think they're all going to get together and impose sanctions on Russia? Goddamn moron.
But
Absolute fucking moron.
Ace, what were you?
But he even went farther than that, and he said, I believe, I'll double check this, but I'm pretty sure he said, someone said, well, yeah, but people are going to suffer. And he's like, yeah, but they're not going to suffer out of spite. It's a geopolitical move.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
But like, the first thing I thought was like, you blockade a country, that's kind of an act of war, sanctions.
Yes,
and
yes,
they have nukes for one.
A little bit. Not
I'm
just
like,
that.
and also, leaders are never going to suffer the cost of sanctions.
Yes, sanctions always hurt the people of a country. Yeah, way more.
And it's never, ever going to happen. That entire region of the globe is dependent upon Russian natural gas. That's why the United States sponsored a coup in fucking Ukraine. Is because of the natural gas. We had tankers sitting off of the coast of Europe, and Europe was getting all their cheap natural gas from Russia. And so the United States, in order to block pipelines, sponsored a coup in Ukraine. That's what happened. Don't you remember Victoria Nuland, fuck the EU, that whole thing? Right. That's what that was. Oh my God. This dude Vaush is such a fucking idiot. That dude is the biggest goddamn moron on this fucking planet.
I'm listening to the clip now. Yeah. He says, the only thing we can do at this point is starve Russia out.
Just starve them out. We're just going to
starve them out. It's not like they don't have a shitload of arable land in the fucking South. It's not like they don't have fucking deals with China. Dino, oh my God.
It's only 40 seconds. I just want to say what he says so we can make sure we get.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead and play it. No, you're good, brother. I don't want to misquote him. What he says is worse than how me and Ace put it. I promise you.
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
No, Jay. Damn it,
Jay,
bro.
You're not
on board today.
You might check where your audio is coming from in Zencaster. Zencaster might be hooked up to the wrong input.
You have your A and B's clicked wrong, like highlighted.
No, the A and B's are clicked right.
Okay.
Motherfucker.
Zencaster source might be wrong. What's the quote? What did he say? Just quote him directly.
The only thing we can do at this point is starve Russia out. We're wealthier than them by metrics. Ally with all the countries and their periphery, sanction their leaders, cripple their economy, wait for there to bleed out, and whenever they're ready to play ball and be nice and compliant, they can be a nice, compliant country. And then somebody says, there's a lot of civilians that get hurt, and the guys, and Vaush says, in Eastern Ukraine as well. Yeah.
Eastern Ukraine, where the separatists are. Eastern Ukraine, where the fucking separatists are, who want to join Russia. Oh my God.
It's way worse than we put. The reason I wanted to quote him directly is because it's way worse than you or I were able to put it. Because he said, "Starve them out, cripple their economy, bleed them dry."
Also, like the way he conceives of like geopolitics, it's just like, we're just gonna do this stuff. It's just gonna happen. Like
he thinks it's still a unipolar world. This fucking moron has never heard of the fucking BRICS in his goddamn life. This dude doesn't know what Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa mean when they're put together in a sentence. He doesn't understand what's happening in the world. This motherfucker's never heard of a fucking gold dinar in his life. This absolute fucking moron has no clue what the geopolitical situation is in Eastern Europe, where all the fucking energy comes from in Eastern Europe. And by the way, Western fucking Europe too. We still can't get our tankers in. This fucking asshole has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. I fucking hate him. Nord Stream 2? You ever heard of Nord Stream 2? How about you check out where the fucking Nord Stream 2 is going? That fucking pipeline? Or maybe the fucking Belt and Road? You want to know what's going on in fucking Kazakhstan? Look up a fucking map of the planned Belt and Road pipelines. Look up that shit, you goddamn moron. Fuck.
I love when Dino gets going because it's legendary every time.
I fucking hate him. He's the dumbest motherfucker on the planet.
Look, another thing, I lost.
That dude might be dumber than Bill Crystal.
Oh, I was gonna say that. I was like, it just sounds like something Bill Crystal would have said. Like it genuinely
exactly
does.
like something Bill Crystal would say.
I don't like calling people neocons because I feel like neocon is overused. I feel like
it's neo-lib now. Like they shifted.
I know.
It's neo-lib now.
It
so
is,
weird.
but I'm saying I've seen people calling Valsha neocon. I think neocon is specifically to do with Israel.
Fed.
Jay,
we got you, Jay.
Jay's feeding back though.
But you're feeding back to us now.
Wait,
we're coming. Oh wait, that was Ace.
That was me. Hold on. Can you guys?
Oh,
wait.
okay.
This is when Vosh. This is so.
Were you able to hear that?
No, we weren't hearing it, Jay.
We still.
I just heard. I heard somebody play something. It must have been Ace.
It was me. So to preface this is not what Vosh was saying before. This is when Vosh admitted to being an informant.
Like a Fed op. Like you could say that about literally anything. You know, there are informants everywhere. I'm an informant. Why do you think I did Antifa work back in Santa Monica? You know, I was ratting out names. Absolutely, we've all been informants. You know,
was that serious or was that an out of context joke he was doing? Because I did see some people saying he was fucking around when he said that.
I don't know.
I don't know, but it would not surprise
You know what I mean? Like if we were talking,
it's really hard to tell with people like that because there's situations where it's like the truth wants to come out.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
I just don't know that he would outright say it if it were true. You know what I mean? Like that would, I don't think he'd be on his platform anymore. I think that they would have yanked him. You know what I mean?
Even if he's not an informant, he's still an idiot. He's still retarded.
Yeah, that's immaterial to this fucking the rest of the shit he was saying a second ago. But
that's the thing. I can't.
Or
do what, Ace?
Do you want me to play the original clip, like the of him talking about Russia?
Sure.
That would be great. I want to hear his stupid fucking
somebody else
voice.
Somebody else comes into it too.
Okay, yeah, here we go.
Actual geopolitical threats will change anything. I feel like the only thing we can do at this point is starve Russia out. We're wealthier than them by metrics. I mean,
they're not.
All the countries in their periphery sanction their leaders, cripple their economy, wait for them to bleed out, and then when they're ready to play ball, they can be a nice, compliant country.
I mean, but there's a lot of civilians that get hurt in that scenario.
In eastern Ukraine as well, yeah. But if they're going to be
like
sanctions
on Russia, is what I'm saying. That would hurt a lot of civilians.
Not as much as their missile strikes would hurt eastern Ukrainians, right? Again, keep in mind, this isn't out of spite.
Why would they attack eastern Ukraine? Eastern Ukraine voted to join them, and they said, hit the fucking bricks. They said no. This is what the fuck, Vosh? You goddamn moron! Do you not know anything?
Hang on. There's another element to this that's going to make Dean even more mad. Tim Pool came out and defended his take. He was like,
"Oh my God, of course he did.
Vouch is saying we should avoid war. What's your problem with this take?"
The guy who can't go a fucking month without making one of the most retarded takes I've ever read on the planet. The fucking Tim Pool, you got fucking loosen your beanie, you piece of shit. Get your fucking head right.
Man, he's so close so much. He's so close sometimes, but then he reverts back to his like China.
Every time I start to like him. Every time I start to like him, he says something retarded.
Same, bro.
I just never like
I quote tweeted that tweet of his. Go ahead. I quote tweeted that tweet of his, and I just posted the Madeleine Albright picture, like the picture of her saying that. Oh yeah, we think the price was worth it. The 300,000 dead children. It's like okay.
I just don't fucking get it. Like these people.
500,000.
They offer nothing. I mean, somebody like Tim Pool is fucking worthless ideologically. This is an ideologically worthless person. He
blows in the wind, dude.
Yeah, he never posits anything of importance. It's just, he's against the left of today. Where was he with the left of 5 years ago, 10 years ago?
Well, what happens with him is he makes a retarded take, and then he has someone with some moderate intelligence on his show who pushes his shit in, and then he's like, "Oh, I've changed my mind. I'm going to start having this take now." So it's like every time He says something stupid and someone fucking rakes him over the coals for it on his fucking show. And then he's like, oh, well, I guess I was wrong about that.
He also, I've seen him. So he's had Scott Horton on. He's had Bob Murphy on, two of my favorite, people. And
of course.
Both times, whenever they were both, because Bob would talk about stuff with, economics and how you don't need the state for regulating things and this and that. And like, that's his element. That's what he fucking does. And Tim's talking back to him with just inane bullshit that everybody else would say. But what if one company would buy all the property? What happened there? Like the same bullshit that
that's really fucking good.
Really? Damn!
That's a relatively good Tim
of
Pool.
all the impressions.
That is a pretty good Tim Pool.
All right, well, I used them my minute. But like, so Scott was talking about like, why the fuck would China why would they wage a war? Like, they are not a threat. China's doing their own thing. Yeah. And even whenever Pete Quinones was on there, he was talking about how like China's not nearly the economic powerhouse that a lot of these hawks think that would have you think they are. Everybody wants to talk about China's money.
They're on a fucking knife edge.
He doesn't have the ability to say, you know what, I should go read more about that. He just says, well, I think that it's less about them waging a war and more about them waging an economic war on us. Look at them. They control they control half the players really in the NBA.
I can't. You're so good at that.
I can't stand. Yeah, I know y'all all want to punch me in the face right now because he speaks. The way he speaks is so insufferable.
No, I just wish my Tim Pool was better. Like that's the thing. I wish my Tim Pool was as good as yours.
His audience is just as bad because when Scott Horton was on,
they were calling him a Chinese communist spy.
Yeah. It's just like, oh.
They were saying that Scott Horton was a Chi-Com.
Yes.
He was they called him a CCP shill. They were calling him in the comments.
Yeah. That is retarded.
It's just all these people drive me crazy because there's always every year like a new generation of grifters that just come in and say something about like the social justice left, boost themselves up popularity, like Lex Friedman, James Lindsay. Like Lex Friedman helped publish a fucking article about masks and got that shit implemented worldwide. What the fuck good does he do? Like when Malice was talking to him about Curtis Yarvin, he just had the most brain dead takes like, but he supports slavery, no? And it's like, no, but he's racist.
I don't think he's that Russian. I don't think he's that Russian.
Fucking brain dead.
Ukrainian, I think, actually. Isn't he? Isn't his family Ukrainian? They're Ukrainian Jews.
Yeah,
right?
Russian. Yes, Russian.
He always no.
All right, Slurp King confirmed. Ukraine is Russia.
And James Lindsay, like, what the fuck does James Lindsay ever have to offer? Ever? I mean, this guy would have been a fucking socialist subreddit 5 years ago. What the fuck is he?
You know what's crazy? This all spawns from Gamergate. All these people.
Yes.
Like they all got
every single time. It's fucking Ralph. It's the entire intellectual dark web. This is the one thing.
Gamergate is like the early life check on academics.
It really is.
But these IDW people goes back to Gamergate. Let me get a Gamergate check. Oh, he was there.
Yeah.
Eric Weinstein. Look at fucking Eric Weinstein. How bad that one's gotten again. It's like, the fuck good are you people? You're like, all just liberal shills perpetuating the entire regime.
Yeah, we're talking
the entirety of like the intellectual dark web. Look, this is the thing. We all like to make fun of game journalists when they constantly call back to Gamergate. But the one thing that is true is that all of these fucking characters came out of that. Yes. All of these guys did. The fucking Ralph, and without Ralph, you don't get people like Fuentes. You don't get people like fucking all these guys. Other guys.
It's true. Yeah.
Meanwhile, you've got guys who have been doing libertarian shit since way before Gamergate even happened.
Right. It's like they wrote on this like anti-SJW thing, and they just kept writing it until that cow was dead, but they kept trying to milk it. And it's just like,
well, it's also it's like a lot of them look for a dragon to slay. Like y'all know me, I'm not no fucking like they prop up these phony. They look for wokeism or whatever the term they're using now. I don't like the term woke, y'all, but I know y'all know for the sake of simplicity, I'm gonna say the word. But
sure,
they look for it and everything, just like somebody, not to both sides it or nothing like that, but like just like you have people who are like real lefty that'll look for racism and everything or look for that shit. And but
the term that I like is the intersectional progressive left.
Right,
because that's
way too long. I'm just going to call that the
best distillation of what they actually believe.
Because like the anti-SJW types that are still, especially the ones that are still going today and still talking about it, like it annoyed me just as much as the SJWs did. Like,
well, think about what happened with like Comicsgate.
Yeah,
if you look back at
Comicsgate.
Comicsgate, like Comicsgate's pretty much grown past that. Like these guys, the guys who got big in Comicsgate, who are like actually intelligent and creative people, now they're making their own comics or they're doing whatever. Like they're crowdfunding their own books and they're telling their own stories, and they kind of launched a career in comics off the back of that. But you still have these guys like, and here's the thing, yeah, they'll buy a Marvel comic and make fun of it on their fucking YouTube channel or whatever, but that's not really what they're doing anymore. They're doing their own books and they're doing their own stuff. They've grown. Yeah. Right.
But can I also say I hate that every scandal ends with -gate because fucking Watergate, like that doesn't make any sense to me. But
and Watergate was a
that
fucking
was the
hoax.
thing is people
like, let's fucking stop with that. Unironically, it was a hoax. Like it was all there just to take Nixon out of power because he crossed the wrong people. Like fuck out of here with the stupid.
Well, here's the
Walter
thing.
Cronkite, shove it up your fucking ass, Walter Cronkite. Fuck you.
I don't understand how you can have fucking Watergate be such a big fucking deal, but then you don't give a shit about Vince Foster. Like, come on, man.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you fucking doing?
So basically,
I was actually watching. I was watching some Norm Macdonald videos the other day. I watched the video where he went on The View and said that Clinton is a murderer.
And they're all rushing.
He got so mad.
Yeah.
One of them goes and like actually covers his mouth while he's speaking.
But it's the best.
To keep it a little back on track. We had mentioned James Lindsay, who has also been a bit insufferable about. Like, because so if you look back in early 2020,
he thinks he's Michael fucking Malice. He thinks he's the Michael Malice of the fucking anti-SGW thing.
And who wants
but he's
Michael
also
Malice?
The thing about him
you want to be
is
an annoying faggot?
2 years ago, 2 years ago, there are tweets from him who were like, "Well, libertarians are dumb because how does the NAP account for the virus that you're spreading if you don't wear a mask?"
The
like
virus.
All the shit he was saying now, a lot of the shit he's saying now contradicts a lot of what he was saying back then. Now, that'd be one thing if he would have said, okay, look, I was wrong. But a lot of these guys, what they do is they just carry on as if they had never changed their opinion to begin with.
Yeah. That they were right the whole time in their own mind.
Yeah, right. Pretty much. So,
they always have thought what they currently think. This is one of the things that I try to be relatively open about, like, when something comes up that I'm like, I'm sorry, I missed the joke, Jay.
He said Ayn Rand moment.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I try to do a thing where if I have a position that I didn't used to hold, I try to do the thing where it's like, I thought for a long time, but then now I think And I did that the other day. We were talking about cops, and I was like, yeah, I used to do the thing where I said that there are good cops and yada, 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 but I kind of realized I was lying to myself about what I actually thought and lying to other people. And it just became a facade. It became a rhetorical Mott and Bailey, basically. I was lying about my actual position. And so I decided to just start saying what I actually thought, which is that, there aren't any good ones. But that's the thing. It's like, I think that. And so I'm being honest. And so it's these guys never do that. They never do the thing where they're like, yeah, I absolutely said this thing and I disagree with it now 2 years later or however long because I interacted with this idea and it convinced me. Like, they never do it.
Yeah, that's why I just, even if they're saying something I would agree with, I'm still just repulsed by like the grifter mindset or mentality or the way they present themselves. That's just like
grifterilla mindset.
Oh, that's a good one. Grifterilla mindset.
I just want someone to explain. I want somebody to explain to me how James Lindsay got popular off saying no 2 + 2 actually equals 4. Like,
because people go for the lowest hanging fruit. Like
it was entirely his appearance. It was entirely his appearance on Joe Rogan that did it, because that was back when he appeared on Joe Rogan when back just after they had been burned. He and Bogosen and Helen Pluckrose.
It was just them
had
two,
been burned on there. No, Pluckrose was part of it. That got those things.
I'm saying it was just the two guys on Rogan. Pluckrose wasn't on Rogan. Yeah, I didn't mean it. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But Pluckrose was part of their whole thing, and so they had just gotten burned publishing those pieces where they reprinted Mein Kampf but with feminist rhetoric and got it published in sociological journals and stuff. Yeah. And then they went on Rogan and talked about that, and that's what blew him up. I mean, and Peter Bogeson's done a better job of like remaining a regular academic who just has these opinions. James Lindsay decided he wants to be the Michael Malice of anti-SJWism. And it's like, come on, man. You're not that clever, first of all. And when there's a video of you basically doing Star Wars kid shit in your driveway, you can't fucking be that guy. You cannot be that guy. Have you seen that video? Have you seen the video of him doing fucking martial arts bullshit in his fucking driveway? It is the nerdiest goddamn thing. It's basically Star Wars kid, but it's a fucking autistic mathematician adult who's out in his fucking driveway trying to pretend like he knows how to use nunchaku. Like he's a fucking moron. The dude.
So it's Azarkist.
Okay, so he's got a big ass fucking like scimitar looking thing. Curved sword.
That's what it is. He's using a fucking sword. Oh, Christ.
He's got a sword. This is from May 16th, 2020. He's got this it looks like a giant, it's a comically large scimitar. Like some shit you would see in fucking Kingdom Hearts or some shit. And he's like doing Tai Chi with a sword, like slowly going through the motions with
in
the
his
sword.
driveway.
Just in his fucking driveway. Dressed like me, just with a t-shirt and shorts and Adidas sneakers on.
Yeah, it's
Star Wars also clearly not in great shape. He's not like a fucking slob, but he's like
that's one of the things.
Chubby.
If he was a fucking big dude, or if he was wearing actual gear like that you would wear in a competitive thing, like that would be one thing. But this is a fucking slovenly old like fucking dude. Not old. He's not that much older than me actually, but he's like a slovenly dude in a fucking t-shirt and shorts.
He's a neckbeard and a fedora.
Driveway.
He's a neckbeard and fedora away from
he had to
being
record
a
himself
fucking
and post it online.
Yeah, that's like no.
He's a Star Wars kid. He's absolutely autistic. Like you can't. I truly believe that to my core. Like I actually believe that he's autistic. He doesn't know why that looks bad. He doesn't know why that's laughable.
If you're autistic,
which is nothing against. I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, sure, but it's nothing against autists. But it's like, come on, man. You can't be the troll if you're that kind of guy. Like keep that shit to yourself. At least have the self-awareness.
Right. It's like, I don't know, people just like glom on to like, as we were saying, like the lowest common denominator, the like lowest hanging fruit. And it's just like, oh wow. You know, it's kind of like I don't hate Jordan Peterson, but the whole like everyone ran to Jordan Peterson when he was just saying like really basic things. It's like, this is really kind of sad and depressing, actually.
Fucking idiots. Because Jordan Peterson has actually had some interviews that are kind of hard to track as far as like if you don't know very much about what he's talking about, like with psychology and stuff like that. Some of his interviews that he's had with really smart people are kind of hard to track. Like it's sort of, you have to pause it and be like, oh, I got to look up that word because I don't know what that means. That's happened before with Jordan Peterson, but he's one of those guys that the thing that takes off from him is just the dumbest thing. Actually, Dick made this point on a recent episode of the Dick Show, and I think it's absolutely correct. Or it wasn't the Dick Show; it was Biggest Problem in the Universe. Dick made the point that science has become explaining rudimentary shit to dumb people.
Yes,
and that's what science is now. Is just can you
Has
explain
that not been
the
what
most?
it's always been?
Well, at least that's what it is publicly now. And I think that's absolutely true. I think that's true with Jordan Peterson as well. Is like the only things that people glom onto from Jordan Peterson is the most rudimentary shit.
To defend Peterson a little bit, I think that's less like sad and pathetic compared to the IDW guys like Lindsay or whatever the hell they're called. I think it's a lot less sad, particularly because, look, the fact of the matter is the past decade and a half, 2 decades, you've had, like, I sound like I'm jumping on the anti-SJW shit, but I think y'all know what I mean. This is coming from a genuine place. Every Target kiosk has a girl power shirt. You know, everybody who's black is encouraged to be conscious about their race. And you don't really see a lot of, for young guys who are lost, especially guys that grew up without a dad, like this kind of thing. Like, you'd see why somebody like Jordan Peterson can speak to, like, and this is why they call him a mean, angry white man or whatever the fuck these people do to smear him. Like, no, he's not that. He's just kind of a fucking
just because he tells dudes to get their shit together.
Yeah, pretty much. Like he gives a lot of young. I mean, I'm not gonna admit it's young white men, but it's not about that they're white. It's just that a lot of these young white guys, just don't fucking have that a lot of the time. And I'm not saying he only appeals to them. I'm just saying that's kind of what I see, you know.
I very much agree with that. I think that like there's
it sucks that it's come to that though. Yeah, not to cut you off, but it does suck that it's come to that. Yeah, so I'm sorry. Go ahead and continue your point.
No, I was just saying I completely agree. I think it's important that he fills that role. My point was just that there's some people who take it to an extreme where they idolize him. Right, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like gotta take the training wheels off.
They think he never says anything stupid either, and it's like, nah, I've read some Jordan Peterson shit that I'm like, bro, that's retarded. Like that's dumb. Like, I mean, here's the thing: you can think that with anyone who you think is a relatively intelligent person, but you don't have to fucking agree with everything.
Right?
Like you're allowed to. Nobody's writing the Bible anymore. You don't have to sit there and read everything this person writes.
He wrote 12 rules for life. I fucked up.
Were you about to say 12 years a slave?
I fucked up. No, I wasn't gonna say 12 years a slave.
12 years a lobster.
He wrote 12 rules for life. That's my Bible, bro.
12 years of lobster, deadliest catch.
12 years of lobster.
Oh man.
I wish I could do a Peterson.
I was texting Grant earlier about the latest episode of Contra Gentiles, where they go like 3.5 hours into the philosophy of mind, or 2.5 hours, something like that. And I was just texting him. I was like, man, isn't it crazy to think that we live in a technological golden age, yet we live in an actual intellectual dark ages? There's just no good fucking intellectuals, man. It's all.
I'm not sure that's what's happened. See, I've been thinking about this. I think what might have happened is all the fucking morons get to talk now.
Well,
so you have a situation where it's like there's definitely still smart people out there saying smart things.
They're smart people.
But the morons are just as loud.
And it doesn't pay to be an intellectual. Like it doesn't pay. Like what? Oh man, I can't remember who said it. It was something like the truth isn't really a reward anymore. It's and not anymore. But the truth in and of itself isn't really a reward. It's just.
I got a fucking example. There's this dude that I was talking to today. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt, but this example came to my mind. There's a dude I was talking to today. He was trying to describe. I looked at this dude's bio. I looked at this dude's fucking website where he wrote this long and very masturbatory biography about himself. I looked at this dude's shit. And he's talking about how he's like this fucking polymath and an automath, and he's all this other shit. He's trained himself to do
polymath.
Or an autodidact.
Exactly. Fucking exactly. So this dude, it's autofellatio. That's perfect.
How about you auto asphyxiate and die?
Yeah. How about you,
David Carradine?
Please auto asphyxiate. I should have, man. I hate that shit, man. Because I would have given him that line when he said,
"I'm an autotroph, bitch. I make my own oxygen."
When he told me he was an
Autobot, bitch, I
fucking told him to auto asphyxiate himself. No, but he was trying to talk about when the defense of self-defense comes up in a legal context, and he was trying to talk about how like what you have to prove and all this other stuff. And I'm like, bro, no. You only have to bring some level of evidence that introduces the fact question of whether or not it was self-defense, and then the state has to disprove that. You don't have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt or whatever that it was self-defense. You only have to say, basically, you could do it with just saying under oath, I was afraid for my life at the time. And then the state has to say, no, you weren't. The state has to prove that you weren't. So, or that what you did wasn't reasonable, or that your use of force in self-defense wasn't reasonable. So that's when that comes up. And he was just arguing. Dude, I had to take a fucking picture of the definition of evidence from Black's fucking law dictionary, arguing with this guy. And this dude had all these fucking letters, capital letters, following his fucking name. And I told him, I was like, dude, he came in later or something, and he was like, oh, so you haven't graduated law school yet? I was like, nah, that's what student means in my bio. And he said an automath is a student their entire life, or blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, I'm never going to put... I know. I told him, I was like, I'm never going to put JD or Esquire in my fucking Twitter handle, because that is the first sign you're a fucking cunt. Like that is the first fucking. Now this is a dude that has letters all in his fucking bio, and I was like, dude, that's the first sign that you're an absolute cunt. And he came back with, oh yeah, and he highlighted my bio where it says I have a BA in political science. And I was like, dude, a bio's not a handle. And I sent a picture to him of me saying that. I was like, you just fucking hate reading, huh? And this dude came back at me with some shit like, oh yeah, there's like 3 pixels difference. I was like, you goddamn more. I told him, I was like, you couldn't think more highly of yourself if you huffed helium. You fucking idiot.
I should have told him to log on Twitter and just say shit. Like they just say shit.
I know.
You think people would ace every day on the internet and lie?
I say that as an example. I tell that as an example of mediocre people who now have a platform because of the internet. The democratizing
and also they're
force.
speaking to other people like them, and then they're kind of like giving this like feedback loop. And then when someone else gets propelled by their momentum into like the public sphere, then everyone like starts orbiting them, right? Like
yeah, exactly.
I mean, like that's why I say
it's almost go for it.
But that's why I say it's an intellectual dark age, because like the actual intellects, like it's that meme. What was it like? The nerds are, I don't know what it is, and the jocks are reading like obscure medieval philosophers. It's like people that are actually worth a damn do not have a proper platform, and the people that have the platform are not worth a damn because academia is just an Ouroboros eating itself to see how much more retarded it can be. And it doesn't get better.
It's always been that way, though.
I think it's been like that a lot of the time. And a good example of this is,
I think the last 400 years has been a mistake. So,
I do think it's been like that for a lot of the time. A lot of intellectuals in their day were persecuted. You know what I mean? Right. It's not like it's not like there's some good old days.
Yeah,
I do agree, though. I do agree that I think the dilution of, or like the flooding of retards on the internet has appeared to dilute. We are the same amount of idiots in the world. Like I think that bell curve is still the same.
Right? Yeah, not but a lot also of noise, not a lost
at the same time, it's like I think
just
Plato
so
was
static
wrong.
now.
But like Plato was wrong about everything. He was still a more eloquent thinker and writer than pretty much any intellectual today. Even going back 200 years, like Bertrand Russell, I don't think is a good philosopher. He was still a much smarter person than all these people. Yeah,
I mean that's the thing. Like if you look at okay, here it is. If you look at something like this, okay,
Hobbes,
this is retarded. Yes. Everything in here is fucking wrong.
And it's the basis of the entire Western like mythos.
And again, I think the last 400 years was wrong.
Yeah, right. But this dude's an idiot. But reading this, you're still like, oh, this guy was smart though.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. It's like even like you sit here and you read this, and I'm holding up. By the way, anyone listening to audio doesn't know this. I'm holding up Hobbes' Leviathan. Anyone, if you sit down and read this, it's like, oh, this dude's making sense. He's putting things together, making connections, using logic. I like it. You know what I mean? It just happens to be that he was wrong.
Yeah. Versus you see like
he was still intelligent.
That fat black whale that's like just giving university lectures like white people are racist. Venmo me.
PayPal me.
Yeah, PayPal me.
Yeah, the PayPal.me link at the bottom of the fucking whiteboard. God, that is one of the funniest things I've ever seen to this fucking day.
Or James Lindsay. You know, these are our intellectuals. Fat black whale or James Lindsay. Take your pick.
I want to say, by the way, if you doubt Hobbes was wrong, read this. Moral Animal, Why We Are the Way We Are.
Oh, I still need to pick that up. Yeah.
It's good. It's good. I don't agree with everything in it, but it's a little rosy about the concept of altruism, I think, personally. And it kind of grates against my more egoist sensibilities. But the general idea of what a social animal is and does is pretty good. And also there's a book that I haven't read yet, or an essay. I'm not sure if it's an essay or a book. What social animals owe to each other. It's published by the Libertarian Institute.
Yeah, Sheldon Richman put that together. It's a collection of essays from like people like Roderick Long and other like people.
Oh, Roderick Long, that fucking guy.
No, he's great.
I know, but at the same time, it's theorist. Like the family is more oppressive than left wing ideology. It's like, what are you talking about? Dude?
What?
Why do you like this?
Hold on.
I'm legitimately thinks that like that families are worse.
Did he say that some families?
No, he said that the institution of the family is worse than progressive ideals.
Actually, hold on. I think there might be something to that, but it depends. Because you have two different ideas of family, right? You have the people who say that blood is thicker than water, and people who say the actual thing, which is that the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Which, I mean, those two ideologies are completely at odds with one another. I think the concept of family. What?
We need to ask the opinion of family on is Vin Diesel.
Family.
But
Ace is cringing.
It's just like seeing a take like, oh, the institution of the family is a more oppressive institution than anything that progressivism has created in the last 100 years in this country is fucking insane.
There might be something to the idea that
it depends on what you mean by family.
Yes, it depends on what you mean by the institution of the family, in my view.
Yeah, the institution.
Because there's some because I've got some family members that I'm really fucking happy I kind of cut out of my life, dude. Like that's the thing.
Me too, man.
There's people who are awful.
But it's like, as a whole, and I can't believe we're getting this heavy on a Slurp Gang episode, but
especially an hour 10 in.
As a whole,
we haven't even gotten to Skittles yet.
We have.
I know. I got 2 packs. I got sour Skittles. I'm chewing on those right now. As a whole,
you're ruining the fucking taste buds.
No,
he's gonna ruin his tongue. No, he's gonna burn
cleanser. I got a palate cleanser.
Yeah, there you fucking go.
So the institution of the family as a whole, and I don't mean just the nuclear family of the 1950s. I mean family, parents, grandparents,
multi-generational, like
extended family.
Yeah,
we see like when you remove the element of family from a society, there is a social decay that affects things, and also a lot of the progressive ideology has decayed the family and things have gotten significantly worse. So I think Roderick Long, when it comes to social takes, is a fucking retard. As
it's
as a libertarian theorist, he's good, but he's just
I don't know.
He's a fucking retard. And he meant like he meant the family. He meant like the family. He was arguing. He was arguing with Pete over the family and like versus what is dominating the left politically, and he was arguing that. No, and he was arguing with a meme. This is what's even worse. He was arguing with a meme that Pete posted on Facebook.
Don't argue with
and he's like, actually, no, the family is a more oppressive institution and we should get rid of that. Whereas, social justice is actually good.
I think it depends. I think it depends entirely on what concept of family he's working from.
Yeah.
I think it depends entirely upon that.
Given that he's a fucking progressive when it comes to social views, I would imagine the most retarded view of the family you possibly could have.
Yeah, what definition of family?
I'm a progressive when it comes to social views.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. Like
it could be meaning like some type of like ultra like conservative type of family where it's like you like in a tribalistic sense, right? Where it's like this,
right?
Where the institution of society is based around this institution, where it's like you're not allowed to like historically. Sometimes you would see, especially in like tribal societies, like the family was like this social unit, whereas like the individual really did not matter within the family. It was really the family cohesion or the interrelationships with the family members, between the family members, that was the main source of like political power, as opposed to.
I can't believe we're running apologetics for Roderick Long arguing with a fucking Facebook meme.
I just feel like if you have to, I understand your point, Ace. I get what you're saying, and I think I see where you're going with that. But like, I just feel like if you have to jump through that many hoops to make what he's saying make sense, I just don't. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's
how like more left wing people think. That's kind of like that's why
like left wing people think.
To try and bring it actually to a slightly finer point, there's I've got people who think that I'm a bad guy because there are certain family members that I just don't talk to anymore. But those people are fucking sociopaths. Like I've got family members that I do not speak to because they are sociopaths. People who are clinically narcissists, virulently so. They will fuck you, they will steal from you, and then will expect you to be okay with it. Like that's the kind of people I'm talking about. And there are people who think I'm a bad dude because I do not interact with those people anymore. If that's what the institution of the family is, the idea that you have to give somebody something, the idea that you owe somebody something
Yes.
because there's some blood relation, that's absolutely an oppressive ideology.
But
Yes,
But
that's not at all
can
what
you
he was.
say-
That was
can
not
you-
what he
wait.
was talking about.
Can you say?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what he was
any-
talking about.
Can you say any amount of that is more oppressive than the Federal Reserve? Like that's progressivism. You know what I'm saying?
I think it affects my life more directly. Yeah, if I have to deal with narcissists stealing from me, I think that affects my life more directly.
I think he's talking about progressive social issues as opposed.
Yeah.
to
Okay, that's fair. Maybe I jumped a
But
little too far.
well, they go
off.
one.
Yeah.
They go one.
That's
In, they go one in another. Like it's hand in hand because you can see that. I can't believe we're getting this fucking heavy. You can see the direct link. Like you can see
Well, progressive
where the ideology
welfare
of
has led to the breakdown of the family. So
Yes,
that's what
and
Jay's trying to
can
say.
see, like, you can see
I
where the
think it
evolution of
depends.
Woodrow Wilson's ideas lends into
Yeah.
the modern progressive left. Like
I agree.
Sure, he wasn't the exact
I
same,
agree.
but this is the same ideology constantly evolving.
I mean,
off the
I would
side.
actually, I could really do a hot take here, and I would say that the progressives actually extend the institution of the family out to the whole society, and that's in some sense why it's bad because they want to make.
Oh,
each
so
single
you're just like-
that is
society.
that is retarded, and I will not entertain that stupid fucking idea.
No,
No,
that's
I
the
believe
point.
it.
Like,
I believe it.
if you,
I
the
believe
problem,
it because I believe it because that is the argument that we always see. Ace was arguing with that dude the other day, and it was like something the duty that you owe to society because
Yes.
they exist. Like that's the like there's that is a weird extension of this idea of like we are the world fucking we're all part of the same
Right.
goddamn tribe bullshit.
Yeah,
That-
because I mean,
yeah.
progressivism is trying to take, like, whatever you think about Michael Mouse, I do think it's a good quote. Whereas progressivism is a secular Christianity. It like gets rid of
Which
the,
he took
like,
from Yarvin.
transcendental. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
It takes
sure.
the
Oh, I mean,
transcendental
Malice
aspect
stole a
out of
lot
it.
from Yarvin.
Yeah, Malice steals everything from Yarvin.
Yeah.
Every good thing Malice has ever said has come from Yarvin. Weird.
Malice is stolen from Ace.
he
Yeah,
gives credit
but-
for that though.
He did give credit.
I
he
did,
did give
yeah.
credit. That's true.
Yeah.
The one time I've ever seen him give credit for any quote ever.
That's
Not even
actually,
joking.
I think that's probably true too. Probably because he knows that Ace is a much more powerful force than Michael Malice. Ace is the asteroid bearing down on the planet that is Michael Malice.
The asteroid.
Do we want to get the Skittles? Do we want to get the Skittles?
Yeah, I'd really like to
Yeah,
talk to
let's do
Skittles.
Nick, did you have something you want to say first?
No, I was just gonna say like the problem I have with these kind of discussions, not like I don't have anything to say. I don't take issue with anything any of y'all said in particular. I'm just saying like if you're going to, I feel like you have to. If every time you go back to it depends on what his definition of family is, I just feel like it's pointless at that point because he could then come back and say whatever he needs to say
That's the
about
thing.
it
I was
to
about
make
to say,
himself correct. You know what I mean?
I probably should have. I probably shouldn't have gone that deep into it because it's one of those things that like it entirely depends upon what he means, and I have to read his work to know.
He was
It's
just
one of
very
those things where it's like
generous.
I don't.
He was very general. He
You'd
painted
have
with
to-
a very broad brush. He wasn't referring to any specific institution of family at this point in history or whatever, or saying like, oh, a family is like this. No, he was just talking about the institution of family as a whole, as we know it in Western society.
Yeah, well,
And he
You
took
also have to
issue
take into
with the
account
idea
that-
of having a functioning family, which is very,
And
very
I think
also
that's
have
absolutely.
And I also take issue with calling family an institution in some way because if at the end of the day, well, then again, I'm about to contradict myself with the next thing I say because people could be what you said earlier, the blood thicker than water, and then the true meaning of that sentence. So I just contradicted what I was just about to say. So never mind. Fuck it. This is like the third time I've done this on the show where I start a point and then immediately contradict the point that I was about to make.
I do that shit all the goddamn time. Do you know how many fucking tweets I've deleted halfway through because I thought, wait a minute, my next thought doesn't comport with this.
There you go. You just.
I just want to say on the Skittles,
This is the
To
extent
know.
of my intellectual skill.
they point to the green one and they say it's lime. So
I am literally the Grug Wojak.
so who wants to go first on the Skittles?
Okay,
I'll go.
Skittles.
I'll go for
Let's
it
do
just to
the
get
Skittles
out
thing.
the fucking way.
What?
Okay.
Let me
Ace, got
put
your
my
notepad ready?
blindfold on.
I'm documented, so you guys can all technically go at
Oh,
the same
fuck,
time, but
what's
just
going
make
on
sure to
now?
hold the Skittle up to the camera. So I
Yeah,
see
yeah,
it.
yeah. Of course,
Ace is
of
going to be
course.
keeping score. Ace is doing the thing. Okay.
No, but I think we should at least like
Dude, I'd
have
be so
turns,
fucking
like, we all
mad
put one-
if I get these fucking things
You
wrong. yeah.
realize, I want to be clear. I want to be
I'm
very
nervous.
clear. This whole thing is designed to make me look like an idiot. Because I said on an earlier episode, or rather, it's designed to either make me look like an idiot or make me not look like an idiot. Because I said on an earlier episode that I thought that Skittles.
I can't believe I'm fucking doing this.
I know.
Were
right?
not good because there were bad flavors of Skittles. If I'm wrong, I'm a moron. You realize
we're arguing with Gnome right now. We're arguing with Gnome Child. This is who we were arguing with. So, but if you were wrong, that is an added benefit. So I will enjoy that very much. Because what I just
I will accept it. I will accept it with open arms. I'm not fucking Tim Pool. If I'm wrong, I'll say, fuck, dude, I was wrong about that shit.
Excellent. So,
all right, so go in this order: Jay, Nick, Dino.
Okay.
So Jay, pull yours out.
Yes.
Fuck.
I don't.
I'm not
have a
Ethan
blindfold.
That's fine. Just don't look at it.
I don't have a blindfold, but I cannot look.
What color I'm holding up?
Yeah, it's easy to not look, but I'm putting the blindfold on for a video's effect.
Okay. It smells like Skittle.
All right, Nick.
Can you see that?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I probably was way up on my mic.
All right, Jay, what'd you say?
This one tastes like grape to me.
Dino, put yours up to the screen if you haven't already.
Well, I thought Nick was going next.
Do you got you got
Nick.
the got the color?
Yours. I got yours, Nick. Yeah,
I
got yours, Nick. All right, Dino, go ahead. I can't see it.
What direction do I need to move it?
You need to move it to your left, back to your left a little bit. I keep going a little more. I can't. Okay, now I see it. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
Nick, what's yours?
It tasted like grape.
All right, Dino, go ahead and what'd you?
That's lime or lemon. It's tangy.
Which one?
One of the two. I can't be that specific. It's lime or lemon. Okay. It's one of the tangy ones. Probably lime.
All right.
Probably lime.
Okay.
All right. Now I'll tell before you guys take the next set. I'll tell you guys what you got. Okay. Jay and Nick, you guys are both correct. It was grape. And then Dino, it was a lemon.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Close enough. Close enough.
Close enough. Yeah, I'll give it to you. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Jay, go ahead.
All right.
Okay. Yep.
I'm scared I might accidentally hit the refresh button on my keyboard and fuck the lobby up. Can you see that?
Yep. Yes, I can.
You got it?
Yep, I got it. Dino, go ahead. Okay. All right, Jay, what was yours?
That was orange.
I can kind of see my hand floating in my peripheral vision, but I can't see the Skittle.
Dino. Go ahead and eat yours now, Dino. Yeah. Okay. What'd you say it was, Jay?
Orange.
Nick?
I think I got orange too, but it might have been lemon. But my final answer will be orange.
Dino?
This one's hard. Red or grape?
Red is the hardest one to tell, in my opinion.
Okay.
Red is the one
yeah, this
I had
one's
least success
tough.
with.
I think it's red or grape.
Okay.
That was green.
That was green, really?
That was green. Yeah, you got that one wrong. Nick, what'd you say again?
I said orange.
You said orange? Yours was yellow.
Yeah. Okay. I knew it was one of the two, but I'll take that as I'll take that as
a
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
I said orange or yellow. I said orange or yellow, but I will take.
Sorry, I'll give it to you.
No. I said orange is my final answer. I will take the strike on that. I have no problem with that.
Dino, what'd you say?
I said it was red or grape.
You had yellow.
Damn.
Are you fucking kidding me? Wow.
You know, I'm actually
yellow was way more tart than that.
I'm actually thinking there might be an issue, like, because people genuinely taste things differently. So, like, some people taste cilantro like soap, like I do. Some people taste cilantro how it's, as a herb or whatever. So, like,
as God intended.
As God intended. There are genetic components to. I'm not being too loud, am I? This thing's kind of
you're fine. You're
fine. There's a genetic component to taste that. Could cause some people to genuinely I don't know if this is true. They may cause
it's okay,
some people
they can't help they were born fucked up. It's fine. You can just say
it. So we'll decide who gets thrown in the chamber or not based on if you can taste the differences between Skittles.
Okay.
Jay, go ahead and pull yours out.
You want to do this out of how many you want to do? 5 or 10 or what?
Let's do 5.
5. All right.
All right. Nick, show yours. Okay.
Got it.
Yep. Dino, show yours.
Take a sip of water.
I can't see it. Wait, a little more. Okay, got it.
I got grape again.
Jay, what'd you say?
I got grape again.
You did get grape again. That's correct.
Yeah. I know
Nick?
that grape flavor from a mile away.
That tastes like an orange this time.
Is that your final answer?
Orange or lime?
I'm gonna shuffle my bag a little bit.
I'm just going with orange. I don't think that's correct though.
Oh shit! I
It was
just dropped
lime.
Skittles everywhere.
Lime. Okay, so again,
Yeah.
one or the other. Yeah.
Okay. Dino, what do you think yours is?
I think that's grape. But it's red. It could be red or grape. I always red and grape is difficult for me to tell the difference.
Yeah, I think.
So I think
those
I
are
think
the
it's grape.
biggest two.
I think it's
You think
grape.
That was lime.
For whom?
For you.
Bullshit! I just had a
No.
lime one that was.
No, I know, but you had another one. It was I looked at it. It was green.
What?
Yes,
Dude,
we
that
can
was
play
not
back
the same as the
recording
other
after
one.
This. Yeah. What if
Johnny
they're
just
all
seen
just
it.
randomized colors? Like the flavors are all.
I think
randomized
that's
and they don't match
possible.
the color.
That could be it, but there
I
are
think that's
definitely
possible.
there are
Hey,
distinct tastes. I was reliably getting for the only flavor I was inconsistent on yesterday doing this with Joni just as a practice or test was red. The only one that I was getting wrong consistently was red. The other ones I was getting
That
right
wasn't-
80% of the time.
That wasn't nearly as tart as the first one I had that you said was
they're
lime,
also
right?
they're also inconsistently flavored is the problem. So you'll get some of them that's like, okay, yeah, that's grape. You can taste it the second you put it in your mouth. Sometimes you got to chew it for a little bit and then it eventually kind of sets in.
Yeah.
So they're not all
Oh my god!
yeah, not all Skittles are created like flavored equally.
Yeah, no.
Right? That's what I was
Okay,
saying
let's keep
earlier.
going.
So
Let's keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Jay, go ahead and show me yours.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Nick, show me yours. Okay.
got it.
Yep. Dino. Okay. Jay.
Orange.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
All right. Nick.
That was definitely great.
Dino.
Orange for sure.
Final answer.
Orange.
All right. Okay. Jay, that was green.
Mm-hmm.
So the
three
citrus are
citrus
very close
flavors.
together.
Yeah, the 3 citrus flavors taste pretty similar.
Okay. Nick, that was grape.
Mm-hmm.
You were correct. Dino, that was green as well. You and Jay both got that wrong and thought it was orange.
Really?
So
Yeah.
all we're learning is that this is why Gnome thought they were so similar, because 3 of the flavors are very, very similar.
Yeah. So there's been
That
a
makes
consistent
sense.
trend that you guys have thought you had orange when it was actually green. You have not had any orange so far.
Okay.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got
All right. What are we
This
on?
one
Are we on 4
Okay,
now?
yeah. All right, Jay, you have your okay. Nick, go ahead. Okay.
Okay.
Dino. Well, wait, move it down a little. Hold on. It's hard to get I can't tell. The light of your thing is throwing me off a little bit.
Okay. Just a second. I'm
well,
going to
there
set
we
it
go.
down
Yeah,
on the
it's good.
desk.
It's good now. Okay, it's good now.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I say. Let's
After I eat this, I'll
Okay.
turn on the light on the webcam.
Yeah. Okay. Jay, what do you have?
that was strawberry. It tastes like a fucking starburst.
That would be the red then, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what flavor red is, but that's the only one
Red
that's
is-
not
red
one
is
of those other
strawberry.
colors.
Nick.
That was an orange. That one was strong.
Dino.
I got to say orange again.
You gotta say orange. All right.
Because now that I know that orange wasn't orange.
Do you guys
It's
know
just
that
like
orange
guess
is
C-
the most dominant flavor in Mountain Dew?
Guess C on every one.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, if you
All
look
right.
at it, like, go.
So Jay, you were correct. That was red. Nick, you were correct. That was orange. Dino, yours was yellow.
Okay.
Oh my
so
God.
that's like the third or fourth time in a row Dino has mistaken an orange for one of the other colors, or vice versa.
Yellow, yeah.
Yeah.
Citrus,
Yellow or green.
like
for an orange.
any
Yeah.
of the citrus ones.
They got to be strong for you to be able to tell, because I could tell that I had an orange.
All right, I
The
saw
lemon,
yours, Jay.
the lemon has a hint of
saw
like
mine?
pledge to it, like lemon
Yes.
pledge. When you get
Right.
a good one, yeah, when you get a good one, that is.
Nick, go ahead and.
I'm trying to drifting away from my fucking computer. You got it?
Oh wait. Put that a little closer. It's kind of hard to.
Is that
Okay, yeah, now I see it. Yeah,
You got
the
it?
light was throwing it off a little bit. Yes.
okay?
Okay, Dino.
Hmm.
Move it to your right a little. Okay, there we go. That's all I need to know. There we go. Okay. Jay, what'd you think?
This is the third time I've had this one that's lime.
Nick?
Red.
Dino?
That's orange. That one is orange. That
You guys
one's
got
definitely
all
orange.
of them right. You guys got all those
Sweet.
right.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
That was the fifth one,
There's-
right?
That was the sixth one. Let's go for one more.
Okay, there's
Okay,
definitely
I know.
like you definitely get lingering flavors from this. That also fucks it up.
You really do.
Jay, go ahead and show me your last one.
That's why I'm trying to take a sip of water between.
Okay.
Nick, I'm
Nick?
drinking beer between these, and I still
Okay.
taste it.
Dino?
Water is the universal solvent. I don't know if beer is.
Okay. You guys are good to go.
That's grape.
Nick?
Yellow. I taste lemon pledge.
Dino?
I can't tell anymore, man. It tastes like one of the citrus ones. I'll just say green.
You guys got all of those right again.
Nice.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
So
that
let
was
me
a good
tally it
one.
up here.
I got 4 out of 7 or 5 out of 7. You want us to go to 10? Make it an even number?
Okay, Ace, I want to do a
just ate
bonus.
a fucking mouthful
Okay.
of Skittles.
Ace, I want to
Oh,
do
you
a bonus
can-
for me with the sour
Okay.
one.
Yeah, hold on. Wait. We have a tie. So
Oh shit.
Jay and Nick both tied. They got 5 out of 7.
Okay.
Dino, you
Well-
got 3 out of 7.
I don't think this was a competition between us. I thought it was just to
No,
kind
it's
of
a
show.
tie. It is now a competition.
Okay, so you want to go to 10? You want best out of 10 instead, or just do one more for a tiebreaker, or what?
Well, no, is it one more for a tiebreaker? Whoever
Let's do one
misses
more.
first
Alright.
loses.
Whoever misses first loses?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I hope Nick pulls out a citrus and I pull out a grape.
All right. Show me yours, Jay. Okay.
That'd do it.
Okay, I got it. Go ahead.
You got mine?
Yep.
All right.
Jay, what do you think?
That's a strong one.
Tiebreaker.
It's a citrus. I know that.
Better get it right. Oh, you pulled a citrus. Oh, I'm sorry.
Lime.
What do you think, Jay?
Lime.
All right. Nick, what do you think?
Grape. Purple.
Well, Nick's the winner.
Damn, what did I pull? Lemon?
You pulled a red.
Okay.
That
Let
was
me
a
do
red?
two. Let me.
That was red.
They've got
Red is
they've
red
gotta
is
be
the hardest
random.
one. Red is the hardest one. Let me do 2 more because I think I have 2. Yeah, I got 2 more on my.
Yeah, I'm not going to
table
count
here.
them, but you can do 2 more, and I'll just.
Yeah, just to show.
Yeah.
Just to show that I do know the. So you got this one.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Go for it.
All right. That's a
This is gonna be
citrus one.
such. It's gonna be so weird for people not watching on Patreon.
I know.
What do you think?
Okay, that one
I think
take
they
that
know
one
what's
tastes
going
like a.
on.
That one was an orange.
Yes, you're correct.
Okay. Got the last one right here.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a grape.
Yes, that's correct.
All right.
Weird
So I
how
think
this citrus is so similar. But I do want to.
I think we can conclusively say the point of this, was that we can now conclusively say that there are, in fact, different Skittle flavors.
The point of this was that I'm not a moron.
Wait, show it again. Oh, okay, I think I see that. Yeah, okay. Wait, what are the?
Yeah,
okay.
let's see if he can tell past the sour.
He's doing sour Skittles.
I forget what the color or the flavor is for.
That was a yellow.
No,
nope, that was a red.
That was a red.
Really? So the red is really vague.
Yep.
Like I got one.
The red is vague, and also sour is citrusy.
The red is the worst one.
The red, because the first time I got a red, it was like really strong strawberry, like it tastes like a Starburst. And then not anymore. Like I just
right. And again, they're not all equally flavored.
No.
So like the two grapes that I got there at the end, they were strong as fuck. I could tell immediately when I started chewing on them. The other ones had to sit for a second, let it sit on my tongue.
I got an orange and a yellow.
I'm wondering,
connoisseur.
No, but
I'm wondering if there's like a mix, like if they might mix them. Okay, so you know how they make candies is they like roll it in a vat.
Right.
I'm wondering if like they mix vats and do like different ones in different vats, because you could. I don't know. Like the important thing, the thing we should all walk away from this with as knowledge is that I wasn't wrong, and that's all that matters.
What were you wrong? What were you not wrong about?
That Skittles taste different.
Yeah, they taste differently. Right. That was the point of it.
Some of them are not good.
And I got 8 out of 10, and the 2 that I got, I said it was this one or the one that was actually the color of. So I think we can conclusively say that at least I can tell the difference between Skittles.
Slurp Gang officially confirms Skittles do taste differently.
Take that, Andy and
Slurp Gang, number one Skittles tracker.
Last individual and Thrawn. Take that, all of you. And Gnome. Gnome said it too. And I don't know if Steve said it or not. Yeah.
No, Steve was on our side. Jermaine was on our side. Gnome really dropped.
No, Jermaine was not on our side. He said it was the color difference that made you think.
Jermaine came out at the end and was like, I'm fucking with you.
I had somebody saying
a definite difference between the citrus and the rest. Like,
yes, you could. Yes. Once you broke it down into those 2 subcategories, it got kind of difficult. But there's a clear, distinct flavor of all of them. And somebody else was saying that they smell different, which is why you think they taste different. But like if they smell differently,
if they smell different, they're going to taste different.
They're going to taste different because that means there's some sort of different ingredient in it, right?
Right.
Well, also a good portion of taste is smell. Like
exactly.
Once I told them, I did the thing with Joni yesterday, and I was telling my friends, like, I can tell the difference between these tastes. The only ones that's hard to pick is red. And they were like, okay, now plug your nose. Like, that's not. That's
gonna
moving
be the same, but more dull.
That's moving the
Like,
goalpost.
if people do it like this, and I just grab a handful and shove them in my mouth,
yeah.
Well,
you're never gonna know.
That's what I've been doing. You can't tell.
You're never gonna know. It's just a medley of flavors.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad we did that though.
Yeah. There are some fruit snacks. Like, you know the gel, like the fruit snacks you just get in the little packets. I have been deceived by those before because I used to think they were all different flavors, and a lot of them are not. They just have different colors.
Certain ones of them. I know the Welch's are different.
The Welch's
are different for sure.
Yeah.
But like as far as like a I don't know, a fruit snack that's like a store brand fruit snack or something like that, I can't tell.
Yeah, the store brand ones. Yeah, the off brand fruit snacks. They have
I hate those
colors,
so much.
They're the same
man.
flavor.
The gummies are so nice.
I will say this though, dude. I grew up eating store brand shit. Like I ate I always had fruity Dino Bites. You remember that? It wasn't store brand, but it was the Malta-Meal brand of Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah.
Fruity Dino Bites. I swear to God, they're better than Fruity Pebbles because they flavor the milk more. So then at the end of it, you can just like drink this milk that's flavored like fruity Dino Bites, and it tastes incredible.
Dude, remember fucking the Flintstones gummies? Vitamins, sour ones.
I really do.
Oh, those are so good. I used to like.
I remember that. I know the.
I had the frisson.
The
what?
I had a frisson. You never heard of that term? But a frisson.
No.
A little shiver.
Literally never.
I have no idea what the hell you're saying, you coon ass motherfucker.
Is this some Louisiana fucking doesn't use the English common law as a basis for your fucking you use fucking French judicial law, fucking French colonial law as the basis for your fucking estates law fucking shit? Is that what that is?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's one of the things that we were told when we were in our estates class is like, don't take any of this to Louisiana. They're totally different.
No, there's a term that's frisson, but it's like whenever you get goosebumps from something good. Down here, we just use frisson for like a little shudder, a little shiver.
I thought that was le petit mot.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
The little death, my dude. Yeah, it's an orgasm. By the way, this episode is brought to you by F95 Zone. If you want to go pirate porno games, you go to F95 Zone. Ace is laughing. Are you saying that you know what that is, Ace?
No,
are you admitting?
I'm laughing.
Are you
No, I am laughing at the absurdity of it. Please keep going.
F95 Zone, pirate all your porn games. F95 Zone. I'm kidding. There's nobody.
What's your favorite porn game? What's your favorite porn game?
My favorite porn. Okay, so boy, let me open up my folder. I'm legit doing this. This isn't a joke.
Miles long.
Okay, so like everybody's favorite porn game is being a dick, right? Like that's top tier. Everybody's favorite porn game is being a dick. Actually, mine is probably my personal favorite is Fetish Locator.
Yo, what the fuck happened to this show?
Well, we're going with the Skittles, so this was the only natural
my favorite porn game is probably Fetish Locator, but I will say, let me find it. Lust Epidemic, which is the game that came right before the people who made Treasures of Nadia. It's from the people who made Treasures of Nadia, but it's the game that came out before that. Treasures of Nadia is a follow-up on Lust Epidemic. Lust Epidemic isn't bad, but it's very different from like Fetish Locator. Very different game.
I just imagine, Dana, you're just writing these in-depth reviews of all these games after you played them, just like you know everything about them. You know the secret Konami code inside the behind the wall that you're not supposed to be able to get to. Like you just know.
If you want good reviews of porn games, go to Lewd Gamer. That's an actual website. I'm not kidding. Lewd Gamer. They do actual reviews of porn games. But yeah, those Fetish Locator is one of my favorites. Because it's one of those that like the whole game is designed to serve as many fetishes as possible. So like you can just say yes or no to certain fetishes, and it's just like it'll just give you that content.
Do you guys know what mewing is?
Mm-hmm. I have no idea.
It's about tongue placement. It's about where you place your tongue when you're just you're standing around, you're just sitting there, and where does your tongue just naturally rest when you're not doing anything?
The top of my mouth.
Okay, Nick.
I never thought about this before.
What do you mean?
I know.
Where
Now that you're thinking about it, you can't stop moving your tongue.
Like where just let your tongue go.
It's touching the top and the bottom of my mouth. Like,
how is it touching both?
You got a big tongue, boy.
Not really.
How is it? It's touching the bottom at the same time?
I feel it touching like down where my salivary glands are. Those two things down here, and I also feel it touching my palate.
But
okay,
is
that's
it rested up on? Yeah, but is it rested on top of the roof of the mouth or just on the?
It feels like it would just be limp, laying down.
Oh,
okay.
But I feel it touching the top of my mouth. Like that's why I had to think about it for a second. Do you forgive me now, you assholes?
No. Fuck, dude. I think mine pushes against my palate a little bit.
Okay, so that's good.
But I'm not sure. Like it's one of those things that now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure that I'm actually being neutral.
I've been thinking about it since I read about this last night. So right before I go to bed, I'm looking into this, and I've been like, I think it rests against the top of my mouth. So all day I've been feeling my tongue resting against the top of my mouth, which is where it's supposed to be. So the thing about mewing is that apparently there's people who just have their tongue resting all the way forced down here in your mouth. And I was like, I don't know how you go about your day like this. And apparently it makes you look like
trying to push it down, like.
Yeah, like I don't know how it doesn't rest on top of your mouth, but apparently there's enough people that this fucking orthodontist back in the 90s was like, actually, you should be having proper posture with your tongue. And then you have like right wingers on Twitter now, like the BAP guys, are talking about like, oh, you got to mew max, you got to also like chew mastic gum and define your jawline.
Are we doing fucking people? Are we doing fucking tongue phrenology now?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Like apparently, if your tongue is resting down here, I guess it's like forcing your chin to come out from like bottom. But I just like. I don't.
There's all kinds of stuff though that can change that. Like if you've had corrective orthodontal work done, like that can change the posture of your tongue and your mouth. Like it's.
Well, apparently that's one of the things
mine.
That's one of the things that this guy said in the 90s supposed to do. Like it could even help with like the correction of your teeth. And I'm just like, who's
I don't know if
resting down here? Who's this resting down?
I don't know if my tongue has a neutral position because I'm usually fucking with my mouth. Like there's this thing like, okay, this is going to be weird for the people on video, but like you might be able to see like on the inside of my cheek. Okay. I'm going to pull my cheek open a little bit and you might be able to see what I'm talking about. You'll see a line almost like Joker scars, but on the inside of my mouth. Okay.
So like you're always chewing on your cheek?
Okay. What those are, did you see them?
A little bit.
Okay. What those are is those are calluses from when I had braces.
Oh,
but
okay.
They became something to chew on. This is very common to people who had braces.
Yeah.
There's a line of calluses inside your mouth that you then later chew on, and it just get worse and worse and worse. But yeah, like so I'm constantly fucking around with my mouth, chewing on calluses, or I'm biting the skin on my lip, or I'm doing something. I don't know what a neutral position would be for my mouth.
Yeah, no, same here. Like I've never thought about it, but I'm always chewing shit off my cheek. And I had braces when I was about 11, 12 years old. So it's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah,
every now and then, do you get a little too deep and pull it off and it starts bleeding in your mouth? Like, does that happen to you every now and then? Yeah.
Like I'm feeling it now. Yeah. It's like there's a G spot in my fucking cheek. That's what it feels like.
Yep. That's exactly what it feels like. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, so it feels exactly like a G spot in your cheek. Yes.
My God, that's so. You're shaking on my fucking
that
world
is exactly,
now.
That is probably the best description of that I've ever heard.
It's got like
it does.
It's got that grainy texture, but it's also got like folds in it.
It's grainy and foldy, but still like fleshy. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. That's probably the best description of that I've ever heard. It's like a G spot in your cheek.
Today on Slurp Gang, we learned that Dean and I have G spots in our mouths.
Coming soon, deep throat.
Deep cheek.
Where we have clitorises in our throats. Yeah, that's absolutely
the background.
He's yelling about stuff. Yeah, I've absolutely got that. I've got like, but my tongue is wide too. Like I chew like.
I want to ask, hey Nick, do you have a G spot on your cheek?
Excuse me?
It was a good question.
It's a fine
Dean
question.
and I have G spots in our cheeks.
Yeah, we've got G spots in our cheeks. Why are you pointing at your dog? Does your dog have a G spot in its cheek?
No.
Oh, he knows from experience.
I'm explaining why I was gone so long just to take a simple piss. I went to the bathroom and she was in the bathtub because she was scared. So she jumps in the tub when she's scared. So I had to get her to get out of the bathtub without being forceful.
Or something or fireworks?
It's been raining for hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's just scared of the weather. But
is this have a G spot in your cheek?
Is this a prostate joke?
No. It's a legitimate question. Do you have a G spot on your cheek?
I mean, no. I don't think so.
Have you ever had braces?
I don't know what.
Would you like
to?
Yeah,
I had braces.
No, would you like to?
No.
Do you have calluses on the inside of your cheek where your braces were?
I have them because I chew on the inside of my mouth all the time. So that's
Well, I think you do that because of the calluses, because I do the same goddamn thing.
Yeah, me
but
too.
they're the calluses from when I had braces. And they kind of are in line with your bottom lip a little bit, and you sort of chew along that line.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think those are the calluses from braces.
In this cheek, I have the exact line where I'm always chewing on it. And I don't have it as much in this one. I have it in this one.
Yeah, but my mom did that, and she didn't have braces. But I don't know. I'll have to ask her if she has the thing that line. I think it's just where your teeth chew. I don't think because you can't. How are you gonna chew below or above? You can't chew above your lip line. You know what I mean? Like on the inside of your cheek, you really can't.
You can.
If you
can.
If you pull your front lip down, you can.
Yeah, but if you're just absent-mindedly doing it,
that's probably true.
On your cheek,
know.
I'm talking about, Ace, not on your lip.
Oh, okay.
Well,
yeah,
if we all just
that's probably why it lines up exactly.
Yeah, we all just
Yeah, this wouldn't be a problem if we all had proper tongue phrenology. If we all didn't have Jewish tongue phrenology, it'd be fine.
Listen to fist check. Let me see your tongue.
Some guys are like
physiognomy check.
And a Rivellino comes back. Oh no!
Oh god! Oh god!
I want to buy, but like mastic gum is like $16 an ounce. So it's like I want to try that and see what the fuck these people are doing all day. Like if they think they can make their jawline sharper by chewing gum. And
that seems weird.
I mean, I guess theoretically,
I'm so obsessed with these right-wing health trends, dude. Yeah, but it's like it's also
Well,
jawline.
I will say.
Bone.
There's also some muscles.
Yeah, muscle down there. Okay, I will say this: there were boxers in the past, like I think it was Tommy Hearns or Marvin Hagler. I don't remember which one of it was. Maybe also I can't think of the motherfucker's name. One of those other guys that he's retired now.
The motherfucker.
Known for being really good defensively. God, I can't think of the guy's name. I'm gonna look it up while I say this. But they would do chewing exercises to strengthen their jaw, to largen their jaw muscles.
So it would be more. I just hit my mic. I'm so sorry. So it would be more like
to try to improve their chin, pretty much.
Right.
To try to improve their ability to take a punch.
But that makes sense because like also if you're breaking the bone, like Muay Thai fighters do this where they kick things until their shins break, and then when the bone grows back, it grows back denser. So like,
well, they don't break their
the
shin. It's there's micro fractures all around.
Oh yeah, so micro fractures. Yeah,
yeah. It's not like your shin breaks. Yeah,
yeah. That's like okay. You want to be more specific?
Yeah, they just kick things until their fucking leg flips around the thing they're kicking, like a fucking like a pose, like an undescribed video, like Poe posts on fucking Twitter.
If you're always getting punched in the face, then yeah, I can imagine like if you're getting little fractures in your jawbone, that's gonna grow back thicker and stronger. So like that makes sense. But like chewing mastic gum, I guess the best you can do is like help remove some fat around this area. But like some guys are actually claiming like it's gonna give you a proper jawbone. Like maybe
is it a bone or like a jawline? I thought it was the muscle.
Like it's gonna tense up their jawline. Is that what they're trying to say?
I don't know.
The muscle.
I don't know.
But the jawline is your jawline looking from the front is affected by the muscle. Because look,
but no, there are people claiming like their side profile. Like okay,
but here's the thing: your jawline from the front, your jawline from any angle is determined by whatever angle you cut your beard at, isn't it? Like
that's part of it. Doesn't it bother you when you see guys cut their beard like along their jawline, makes them look all fat?
Yeah, like, look,
do it right here above the.
If you're someone like me. Like I have a good chin, but my jawline is like okay, whatever. How the fuck am I going to grow this hinge out by chewing gum?
Oh, you don't. I don't think you do.
Exactly. That's what people are like claiming. Like some dude on Twitter showed a picture where he's like he has nothing, so he's like this at like 17, and now as an adult, and he has like a full jawline like this, and he pins it on.
I mean, if you flex it,
mewing.
You can.
I thought the point of mewing was to put your to create that muscle memory so you're always doing that thing that makes your jawline look better. So in other words,
I thought it was to sound like a cat.
Oh my god.
In other words, well, I'm mewing. In other words, like you continually working your tongue such that your jaw looks fine, like putting your mouth in a certain position, but breaking it in so you're always doing
trying
that.
Are they trying to train like an underbite so that their jaw sticks out more? Like if you try to go like that,
caveman.
They're trying to train like a 90-degree jawline.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, I don't know what.
They're usually BAP guys, dude. Do you think they fucking make sense?
Anyway, the boxer, I couldn't think of his name.
Not get fat.
The boxer was Bernard Hopkins. That's him. Sorry, Bernard.
There you go. Yeah, Bernard, if you're listening.
Yeah, Bernard Hopkins, avid Slurp Gang listener. Yeah, these BAP guys are fucking weird, dude. Like, sun your asshole to get your chakras in line.
Oh man, are those the guys that do like the perineum sunning thing, where like you have to sun your gooch, like you have to get that some sunlight?
Holy shit!
Why would you ever do that? And plus, how could you ever be in a position long enough to get sunlight to your perineum that before you like cramp up? I don't understand this.
I don't know. I just know the people that follow BAP are really, really fucking strange, and I don't like them.
This is literally the same guys that do like semen retention. Like these are the same fucking dudes.
Excuse
me? Which we just call edging.
You know what? I don't think I want to know.
Nick, you're going down a very dangerous path right
now. Nick hasn't heard of a thing.
All right,
semen retention. You don't know what semen retention is?
I thought that's what your mom did.
Good one.
Explain it. Explain it for the audience, Dean.
Okay, so semen retention, all right, is the thing that these dudes do. They're kind of ancillary to the same dude, and a lot of them are the same guys who do like jelking and think it's gonna make their dicks bigger. Okay, like so semen retention is these guys who don't jerk off to completion. All right. They think that if they retain their semen, it's going to increase their T levels and it's going to make them more masculine. It's going to cure their depression. It's going to do all this shit that helps them out. Just not coming. That's what's going to do that for them, is make it to where that's semen retention, guys. That's what they think.
And that's also BAP guys. That is one of the things they do. They sun their perineum. They retain their semen. They apparently put their tongue in a position to make their jaw look, or not even look better, be better. They follow a guy who writes like a monkey. So really, these are strange people.
I mean, there's two kinds of people, right? There are guys who do semen retention, and there's guys who understand that it makes sense that actually your sperm are probably at their healthiest in 48-hour increments. So that's kind of what you want, is a 48-hour sort of cycle. That's actually what people who are in fertility treatments and stuff like that, they say, like, don't do it. Do 48 hours space between. 24 is too little. You're going to have low sperm volume. But if you do 48 hours between, that's when the sperm is the healthiest.
Like Patrick with the alarm going off at 3 a.m. Oh boy, 3 a.m.
Time to come.
Exactly. But these semen retention guys are like, yeah, I'm just going to retain my semen forever. And then it's like, bruh, where do you think wet dreams come from? Like, that's
the semen are walking around with
shit.
The semen are on hover rounds and walking around with canes.
Exactly.
The baby comes out old.
I've done no faps for like my mental health, because like there'll be periods like months never come. The only 2 times I've had a wet dream was when I was in a relationship and having steady sex. That is the only fucking time.
Really?
I've never had one.
Never before, never after.
I never have either, but look, I don't think I've gone more than a couple of weeks without jerking off since I was like 12. So, like, I don't think I've ever built up enough to need to have a nocturnal emission. I don't think I've ever required that physically.
Works, man. I really don't know how it works, because, like, okay, yeah. The only benefit was I woke up in time to catch it both times. It feels like pissing. It feels like you're about to piss in your dream.
That's something I've never experienced.
It doesn't sound pleasant.
No, it's not.
Oh, it doesn't.
Imagine being jolted awake at like 5 a.m. because you got to shoot a load. It's not nice.
Oh. That sounds terrible.
You got like 10 seconds to catch it before it gets in your bed sheets.
Oh boy, 3 a.m. Once again. Double tipping, baby.
It's like those magician tricks of catching a bullet, except it's not a bullet, and it's the middle of the night.
Yeah, and you can't curl it up in your hand and it's gone. It's like a magician.
No, if you did, it's gone. Just not where you wanted to go.
All right, what have we learned today? What have we learned? We have 2 hours. What have we learned?
Skittles do not taste the same.
Skittles have different flavors, varying different flavors. They might not be the same for each color to the same degree, but there are different flavors of Skittles to some extent. What else did we learn today?
Chuck Schumer practices semen retention.
Chuck Schumer practices semen retention. We learned that.
We have G-spots.
Yes, we have G-spots in our cheeks. We all learned that as well. We learned that that Vaush doesn't understand the economics of natural gas and how that affects geopolitics.
Wow.
I don't think he understands anything.
He's a communist who's going to starve Russian people in the. Yeah, that seems.
I said it's a shame. He's advocating starving other people. This motherfucker needs to starve himself for about a week.
I know, right? Actually, his if you go to his Kiwi Farms thread, you'll find a picture of his girlfriend that is.
I've seen it.
Horrific.
I've seen it
absolutely horrific.
4chan.
Before we wrap, we need to talk about friend of the show Thaddeus Russell, who was in deep shit again.
Oh no!
Yeah, look, I saw some people like. The thing that bothers me the most about this Thad shit is that whenever he talks, he always brings a conversation back to, well, don't you think it's dumb that a man can be put on the list for the entirety of his life because he had a young girlfriend when he was 18? Okay, that's not where Thad Russell has said himself.
The Mott and Bailey, yeah.
That it's a Mott and Bailey. He has said himself that it's not obvious. I don't know that he said it's okay, but he said that why is it bad for people to have sex with kids? Why is it bad? We make them go to the dentist. We make them go to school. Why would it be so? It's not obvious on his face that it's wrong to have sex with children. Clip that out of context, me saying that. Right. But the problem is, so he has said that, but every time he's confronted on the issue, he always goes back to the Mott and Bailey thing where he switches out his argument and says, well, don't you think we're talking about the age of consent. If an 18-year-old has sex with a 16-year-old, that's not necessarily wrong, which I agree with. That's not necessarily wrong.
Yeah, no,
he
that's a different thing.
But that's not... Yes. The problem is, and then people enable it by saying shit just like he's saying. They say, well, he's bringing up a valid point about the age of consent. There's not a hard line at which point it's okay to have sex. Okay, no, stop doing that. Don't do that. Just say he's wrong. It's bad to have sex with kids, and don't give him any credence.
I mean, this is one of those things. Like I have
one of those things. Yeah, child sex.
One of the things.
There's a piece, and this pissed a lot of people off and got a lot of people mad at me. But I wrote something on the Rogue File a while back that I always consider deleting, and then I go back and read it, and I'm like, nah, I still think this is accurate. The fucking kids is bad, full stop. Right?
Yes.
Fucking kids is bad. Now, if you want to have a conversation about, like, how do we address pedophilia in culture? How do we address, how do we study this? How do we figure out where it comes from? How do we figure out how to fix it or solve it? How do we do, if you want to have that conversation, that's a different conversation entirely. But trying to ask the moral question about, hey, would it be right for me as a 27-year-old man, or almost 28 now, to fuck a 12-year-old? That's wrong. That would be a wrong thing. That would be a wrong thing for me to do.
Yes.
Like, I don't see any moral ambivalence about that. I think Thaddeus Russell's biggest fucking problem, if he's not a pedo, his biggest fucking problem is that he has this fucking postmodernist fucking brainworm that makes it impossible for him to admit that a thing is immoral.
Yes.
bad.
And also that
Yeah.
if there's like a gradient level in one area, then therefore it's all like just it doesn't matter. It's all
Right.
just
Look, I was 18 with a 17-year-old girlfriend. Could somebody have pressed charges against me? Probably. I would have had a defense. The Romeo and Juliet law is a defense.
Right.
But there could have been charges pressed against me. Absolutely.
I think
and
that
I don't
a lot
know
of
if they would have. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, so we can have that conversation. Fine. We can have the conversation about whether or not we should be putting 15-year-old girls on a list for sending nudes to their 15-year-old boyfriend. Like, we can, about whether or not we should be putting those people in fucking juvie. We can have that conversation. But it doesn't make any fucking sense to call into question the idea that fucking kids is wrong.
But you know what's so concerning about that? And it's that I got to give credit to Bob Murphy for being the first one to really like bring this shit to the forefront. Like, hey, no, this episode he did is really fucked up. But last year when Lee and I started that snowball effect with him, I got that guy to admit that his ex-wife, he was married to a woman who was molested by her teacher as a child, and it was like just apparently not a big deal. Like, this guy gives such predator vibes.
She was 13 at the time, by the way.
It was like a 35-year-old.
I went to school.
But he
I went
said
to school
he didn't
with
say
girls
she
who
was
fucked a
molested.
teacher. Like, that's not.
He said she had a relationship with
she had a sexual relationship with a 40-year-old.
So it's
so
just
he
so
doesn't even
fucking
see it as,
concerned.
but it's molestation. It's having sex with a child. Like I don't see it as any other thing. Yeah,
he has a predator mindset because he sees that and he's attracted to that. He has no problem admitting to the public sensitive information about his wife's fucking sexual abuse
That's
as
weird.
a child.
You would say that out loud unless she's been like overtly public about it, which would make it a different thing. But if she hasn't been overtly public about that fact, I would never say that in my fucking life.
The reason he brought it up was to defend, like, well, it's not damaging. She turned out fine.
Oh,
like that's
God.
why. But another thing, before y'all,
that such a terrible, like, just.
I don't want to hog this part, but I do have one more thing to say. Is like a lot of these guys. Was it Dean mentioned the postmodernist brainworm? A lot of these guys. It's not just postmodernism. It's a lot of guys that maybe don't even particularly don't ascribe to a particular philosophy. I don't know. But a lot of these guys who just happen to be like intellectual academic philosophers, they just get so far up their own ass that they can't accept some things as like a priori truths. You know what I mean? Like I could tell you it's bad to fuck kids, and I don't have to have a reason to tell you that. Like I'm not going to argue with you. It's bad, and that's it. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to have this conversation. And they're not able to. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
That's all I have to say. It was like they can't accept that. They can't accept that that's just a truth, and that's that. They have to have evidence for it, or they have to have a particular reason why I have that opinion. Like, no, there's a negative, visceral reaction that I have to that, and it's not because of the culture. It's not because of how I was brought up. It's because I'm a human being, and I know that that's wrong. Right? Like that's just what it is to me.
And they do this really slimy thing where they'll appeal to the gray areas, and then they'll try to say, well, this is a gray area here, so that means this whole thing is just a gray area. It's like, no, bullshit.
Well, they'll do the thing where it's like, when does it become wrong? An 18-year-old and a 16-year-old, an 18-year-old and a 15-year-old, an 18-year-old, and it's like, stop it! Stop it! Because first of all, you know
just tell me what your real argument is. You're just hiding behind this.
You know that's a case-by-case thing, you fucking idiot. You know that for a fact. You know that you can't just judge that as a fucking across-the-board thing. There are people who fucking grew up together and know each other, and they start dating. One of them was fucking 15 or 16. One of them was 18, and the fucking relationship's great. My fucking grandmother was married when she was 16 years old. Like we know that these things exist, okay? Yes. But we also know that it's a case-by-case thing because there are situations where we can absolutely see it and be like, oh, that's fucking gross, dude. And I don't have to explain that reaction.
Right.
Exactly. I don't have to explain that reaction.
Yeah. I just love how Thad, literally, anytime he's been brought up in the last year, it always causes a shit show. Like, it even got on to fucking Rogan the last time around. So it's just,
I know. Well, that's the thing is, I was
smarmy asshole. Fuck him.
I wrote this whole piece. Like I said, people fucking raked me over the coals, said I was apologizing for pedophilia and all this other shit. I wrote a piece that was basically about like, okay, how do we deal with this problem? Right. It's not about whether or not it was morally okay. The assumption is that it's not morally okay. The question is, how do we deal with it?
Trying to fix this problem right in the first
place.
Right.
Exactly. And look, I have a different position than a lot of the wood chipper guys. I'm one of these guys that's like, we need to study this because we don't know where it comes from. It can come from brain damage. It can come from genetics. It can come from all kinds of different places. So we need to figure out what that is before we start talking about how to fix it, right? We need to know what causes it. That's one of those things that's just my position though. But I'm not arguing that it's morally okay ever.
Right.
Like that's not where the position starts.
Something I think is a concern too, like in a lot of these conversations, is that a lot of one of the biggest I don't know what the science behind this is, but it's one of the more universally I don't know about accepted, but kind of shot around theories of why people are pedophiles, and a lot of people is because they were molested as a kid, and it just kind of is a cycle. But and a problem I think is it's hard in progressive academia. And I'm not picking on progressives in particular. I think that it's in this particular case, I think this is a fair point for me to be making about them in particular. But they don't want to tell people. I feel like if they're telling somebody you were fucked up as a kid, therefore you are fucked up now. I feel like that could be seen as telling somebody they're broken, telling somebody they're a bad person. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm getting my point across the right way.
No, I absolutely agree with you. There's also a way
see why a doctor wouldn't want to be the guy to come out and say being molested makes you molest people, because that means they're a victim, but their victimhood is what makes them a bad person. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Yes. Well, there's also stuff that calls that into question too. I found some research when I was writing that piece about the fact that there's actually a lot of links with brain damage and that kind of thing, where it's if there are people who are fucked up physically, there's crossed fucking wires that cause them to have those attractions and shit. And it's okay, well, then let's figure that out and find a way to handle it. Not because there's any level of it. And again, I'm this is kind of close to me because I wrote that piece a long fucking time ago, and I had people jump down my goddamn throat acting like I was defending pedophilia. I never once have made the argument or even tried to make the argument that there's any kind of sexual interaction between an adult and a child that is okay. Never, ever, ever once have I made that argument. The only argument I've made is that wood chipper rhetoric is counterproductive. I made that argument. And if you want to attack me on that, attack me on fucking that. But don't act like I'm fucking apologizing for shit, because I'm not. Yeah. And that happened again. I got fucking blown up on fucking Twitter when I wrote that piece, basically saying we got to understand what causes this, because there's people out there talking about we got to stop these people from reproducing. It's it's not reproduction that causes it. We don't know for sure that it's reproduction that causes it. It could be any number of things that causes this. Right. So let's fucking handle that instead. Yeah. Christ, but that's not the same thing. And this is the thing that I was Ace pointed out when Libs of TikTok blew this up, and they posted that thing with Tom Woods. Was it Tom Woods or was it Bob Murphy? Bob Murphy. Bob Murphy had said that the state shouldn't punish people for this thing. Bob Murphy doesn't think the state should do fucking anything.
Right. And he's a pacifist, so yeah.
Right.
Libs of TikTok deleted that tweet, by the way.
They
did the right thing. Granted, it took a lot of pressure from the Bob Murphy defense squad, as my homie Emo Hoppy put it, but they deleted the tweet.
Did they ever?
They did eventually.
I mean, I'm glad.
I don't know. I don't know if they did, but at least they deleted it.
I don't think they acknowledged it.
They probably aren't going to. Yeah.
But
if you check in the chat real quick, I did put a link to the thread Thaddeus Russell made, if you guys want to skim it real quick.
Yeah, he just put up a thread today I was going to read later, actually. But he, I know when Ace posted that thing and basically said, take this the fuck down to Libs of TikTok, which was the right thing to do. The thing I think I said it on his tweet was the fucking wood chipper squad gets it in their fucking head. Yes. They get so horny for hunting down pedos that all nuance flies out the fucking window. And all possible conversation flies out the fucking window. Even if your starting position is fucking kids is wrong. If you have any other position than wood chipper, they immediately fucking lose their goddamn minds.
That's right.
And it's absolutely insane. Absolutely fucking insane. That's the flip side of the whole deal with the Thaddeus.
I 100% agree with you.
To touch on the Thad thing with this thread he made, he did the thing I just said he did all the time, where he's talking about, we've already established that he said it's not obvious that adult child sex is bad. In one of these tweets in this thread, He says the quote adult child sex unquote I have defended includes that between a 19-year-old boy and a 15-year-old girlfriend, which that is actually also questionable to me. 19 and 15 is kind of a stretch, but it also
15 feels wide.
Yeah,
it feels
imagine like going back,
which
according your freshman year of college, and then like, oh, I'm gonna fuck
which
a freshman in
according
high school. No,
to our law
But again,
is an act of pedophile.
Case by case thing. I think it's a case by case thing.
The point I'm making is he did the thing.
Yeah, no,
he did the thing he always does, and acts like his main point is these
because he's
exactly.
He literally did
it.
He's a sophistic, smug piece of shit. Fuck this. I've never liked this guy. I don't know why anybody ever gave him attention to begin with. He never says anything good
because his book is good. His fucking book is good.
His entire worldview would be summed up to, all right, what if black hookers ran everything? All right, guys, that's all. I'm gonna go fuck some children. Bye.
No, his book, Renegade History is actually a good book. Like it's
very good. Renegade History is probably my favorite history book. But it's one of those things where it's like this dude's got these postmodern brainworms where he can't just fucking admit that something is immoral just on its face, not even on its face, but just because of the reasons that are actually given. I mean, the idea that, we don't let kids consent to contract for a reason. Okay. We let them consent to anything for a reason.
I know where Ace is going with
something.
This.
I'm not going to name any names because I'm not trying to do this like start drama. There's a tweet the other day this person's a libertarian. And they were saying they quote tweeted the Thad like clip.
It was a tweet yesterday, wasn't it?
It was yesterday. Sorry, yesterday. Yeah, it was a tweet that said, and it was with the Thad video from Libs of TikTok showing the Thad video, and it was like, this is what happens. This is the like I don't want to get it wrong, but it was essentially saying this is what happens to libertarianism without religion, implying that like libertarian philosophy would kind of like imply that, or any consent-based like ethic would somehow imply that somehow pedophilia is okay. It's like, no, because children can't consent. That right? And it's like when libertarians start doing that kind. I know, and I don't think he meant it that way, so I don't want to like jump down his throat on this. But it's like really bad. It's really bad when it's like that meme is already a thing from people who are not libertarians to smear libertarians, and then when actual libertarians come out and say it like that, it's like, oh, this is not a good look.
Let me put that to fucking rest right fucking now. Yeah. I have been open and public about the fact that I'm an atheist. I do not believe that there is a God. I do not believe it. I still don't think that kids can consent to contract, which means I don't think they can consent to sex. I don't think they can consent to fucking anything. Right? To me, there are interesting questions when you start to reach when kids are growing up, and that's another thing that I wrote a thing about, which is at what point does a kid become a human? Because we have this interesting sort of idea about children where they are part property and part person. Yeah, right. We have this interesting concept about kids where they're part property and part person, right? We have this thing, and I think basically the result of sort of me delving into that was, well, that kind of thing is just called a kid. Like that's just what we call that. But in any case, to me, whenever a parent starts to delegate authority to a child before that child is an adult in any objective sense, maybe they can start to consent to things within that range. Again, you got a kid who's 15, 16 years old. Maybe they're old enough to drive. Maybe they're old enough to, sign up for certain things to make them able to drive, things like that. The consent to contract thing comes in slowly as a child develops, right?
And this is also
through
like
adolescence.
A case by case thing too, right? Like, so you can't just like automatically say for every single child that like, oh, I can consent to this contract now.
It depends on the kid, because there are 100% humans who can never consent to anything.
Yes, that's what I was
people
going to say.
Who never develop the ability to consent because they do not develop the conscious thought that they would need. They don't develop past a certain threshold that would allow them to consent to anything, let alone sex.
I hate to get into like theory here for a second, but I just want to say this one thing.
We're not getting into theory on Slurp. No, we're not. Okay. All right. I'm going to end the show now.
No, Jay, don't end the show.
We're not doing theory, man. We're not doing theory on Slurp.
No, just what all I was going to say is that some people confuse the fact that if you own your body, therefore that means you can consent at all times. That is bullshit. That is not.
Oh yeah,
true.
that's not really
fucking
theory.
true.
That's not even close to what the reaction
Yeah.
Jay gave it deserved.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
That's
no,
all I'm
you
saying.
own
There's some
yourself if
people
you're
who
knocked
believe that.
if you're knocked
That
out,
doesn't-
but somebody can't just draw your blood.
Exactly.
That's
There are
that's
times when
yeah.
you completely own yourself, and you just cannot. You have no capacity to consent. So there's
Right.
like, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It just
start
blows my
rapping.
mind that.
Just start rapping.
Yeah, I'll start. Yeah,
I'm
that's
glad-
cool.
I'm actually
fine
glad
with
you
that.
brought that up because that's been stewing in my fucking gut for a minute now.
I will
is
say-
this fucking idea?
That guy that I think you were talking about earlier, Ace, I think he just kind of put his foot in his mouth. I don't think he.
Yeah, no,
I think,
that's what I agree. But
yeah, I
just
think
wanted
if you
to
sat
correct-
down and talked to him, it would be a lot different. But yeah, I think Twitter, because that was like a Twitter moment. He just put his foot in his mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
I
I
agree
don't think
with
it was
that.
malice. I don't think he was like, yeah, no, I agree.
But it's one of those things like you can develop this stuff. You don't need to call upon a religious conviction in order to develop that kind of basis for a moral or ethical point of view. Like I said, I don't believe in a God. I don't make a big deal out of it either. I never fucking talk about it. I've said it every once in a while on Twitter. But I think there are perfectly good reasons that kids at certain levels of development can't consent to fucking anything.
Yes.
Like all in that
And you said
again,
some
you
people
have to
can't ever
meet-
consent.
Right. Some people have no ability whatsoever for their entire lives to consent to anything. They're still human beings, but
Yes.
they're retarded or whatever. Like whatever it is that makes them unable to consent, that exists. And I don't think that's a weird thing, Thad. God.
Right.
And with that, anybody got anything
All right.
to plug?
I don't really have a. Oh, I do have a plug. I'll be on. I recorded with Hoppa Hours. You can find their Twitter at Real Hoppa Hours. The episode should be out, I think, the same day this comes out on Monday, and then there's some extra content that comes out the day or two later, like a meme review or something.
Okay.
And then my friend who I asked y'all praying types to pray for, surgery went perfectly. Everything's great.
Excellent.
They went back
Excellent.
home from the hospital the day after, so everything went just as good as imaginable. So
Very happy to hear that.
Perfect.
thank you.
Ace?
Oh, Dino, you can go first if you want.
Yeah, Dino Files. AIRAD.io. Dino Files, I'm going to have... I don't know. At some point, I got to sit down and record that episode. I have to do it before the opinions come out. Because then that's going to set me back another week if the opinions come out, because I got to read the opinions. But yeah, Supreme Court episode on Dino Files coming up. AIRAD.io. Dino Files on Twitter, no spaces, no dashes. DEANOFILES. That's it.
Anything else? Any appearances or anything?
No appearances I can announce at the moment. I am going to be launching a Substack, so check my Twitter timeline for that when that happens. That should be sometime next week.
Oh, that's exciting.
For that.
Yeah,
I'm
writing something that I think might piss some people off.
I'm turgid. I'm absolutely turgid.
All right, Slurp Game's going on the Hoppitarians on February 19th.
Oh,
Did they
yeah.
live stream
Oh,
that?
yes.
February
Yeah, I can't
19th.
wait.
That's gonna be fun,
February
dog.
19th.
Yeah.
so
Well, is that the
Happy
day it comes out, or is that the day we
No, that's the
record?
day
It'll
we're
be a
gonna
live
be-
stream.
that's the day we're gonna be.
It's a live
Big
stream,
live
so
stream.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so,
cool.
Yeah, February
cool.
19th at like 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be on the Hoppitarians. So,
Yes.
yeah, go fuck yourself.